The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Good evening. In the 40 years of the nuclear age, we've grown accustomed to its vocabulary and even somewhat hardened to its ideas. Fallout, radiation sickness, zones of destruction, megatons, even mega-deaths. The phrases have become part of everyday speech. Recently, a new one has been added that has introduced a fresh sense of urgency into the nuclear debate, the nuclear winter. That's to say, the belief of some scientists on both sides of the East-West divide that a large-scale nuclear exchange would not only wreak the vast destruction and death that we all think we know about, but would throw so much dust and smoke into the atmosphere that the planet's climate would be drastically altered. The sub-zero temperatures of a nuclear winter would threaten the survival of the survivors. This thesis is the subject of several high-level inquiries, even one backed by President Reagan himself. The onus, as one authority put it, is for those who doubt the nuclear winter now to disprove it. Tomorrow night, in a documentary called On the Eighth Day, you can see the scientific evidence that lies behind the nuclear winter hypothesis. That will be followed by a special Newsnight debate, which I'll be chairing, on the strategic and defence implications of the new evidence. But we start tonight with the advent of a nuclear war itself. What would happen if Britain came under a nuclear attack? How would ordinary people survive the impact of the blast and the conditions that scientists say would result from a nuclear exchange? Threads is a drama. The characters and events are fictional, and it deals with something that has never happened. But it draws on a vast amount of scientific information amassed over the last 40 years on the likely effect and destructive power of nuclear war. Some of the scenes which follow may distress you. Threads was made in and with the cooperation of the people of Sheffield.
Imagine watching that as a 12-year-old, which is what I did. And I know that loads of you, because we talk about this film Threads a lot, more than is healthy for us. I know that loads of you were forced to watch it as part of, sometimes in assembly, sometimes in religious education classes at the age of 13, 14, 15. Is without a shadow of a doubt one of the most horrific things I've ever seen in my life. We've got one of the stars of it on the phone now. It's Reece Dinsdale. Good evening, Reece.
How are you doing, Iain?
I'm very well. Listen, we won't talk only about Threads, and I know that's probably not the gutbuster warm-up introduction you were expecting.
I was going to say, that's quite an intro. That's taken me back a bit. Not the cheeriest to start.
Oh, man, honestly, Reece, first of all, it's such a thrill to talk to you, man. And
bless you.
And I know we said this on Twitter, but I've always had a soft spot for you ever since my sister, years and years and years ago, I'm going to say it, she had a crush on you when you were starring in Home to Roost with John Thor.
Right, okay.
And that was some time ago. And she wrote off to you, and a few weeks later you sent a signed picture back. And I know for a fact that she still has that framed somewhere in her house.
Yeah.
And I just... I was only young then, but it just struck me as what a nice bloke. And
well, bless you.
So thank you for doing that, because I know it made her day, and I just thought, what a nice bloke. Let's start with Home to Roost, man. How long ago was that?
Well, fun enough, it was right on the heels of Threads. We made Threads in 1984,
right,
in the spring, and in fact, I think I started rehearsals with John Thor in January of '85. So it was a very fertile period, yes, for me. It was hot on the heels. You couldn't get a more contrasting piece.
I was going to say, man, from dark, the light and the shade.
Yeah.
Threads was, I know it's just come out on a Blu-ray, it's been remastered, a double disc edition, and I know,
the Americans have got the Blu-ray, and I think we've just got a remastered DVD of it, but yes, it has been done Blu-ray in America.
Okay, I'm surprised the Americans can understand it, because they need subtitles for English accents. It's incredible, you know, and we do talk about it a lot on this show. I watched it again about 10 years ago, thinking, well, it can't be as bad as I remembered. It's an incredible film. Even now, it's an incredible film, isn't it?
Well, I've not watched it perhaps for 33 years.
Right.
I mean, we made it, as I say, in 84. I can't remember if it came out in the autumn or in a year later. I'm not sure. Probably in the autumn. But it must be well over 30 years since I've seen it myself. So, funnily enough, I bought the remastered edition last week. I've not watched it yet. And I'll be really interested to see if it does hold up. But I put that out on Twitter because it was being remastered and people told me it was, and I said exactly that, and people have said, my God, it's incredible, it still does.
Yeah.
It's as scary today as it was then, and I'm actually deliberating at this morning. It's funny you should say what you did in your intro, but my wife said yesterday, maybe we should watch it with the kids all together now, and my daughter's 17 and my boy's nearly 14. Oh, and I'm kind of in two minds, because all the people who tweeted me and sent messages said, it really scarred me.
Yeah.
And it was really, it was the most terrifying thing they've ever seen. So I'm not sure whether I should, whether he's old enough yet.
Well, I watched it when I was about 12, 13 years old, and I'd forgotten. I just found on YouTube that introduction, and I remember, as soon as I saw that intro from the BBC, that very serious po-face, you know, this is what we were about to see, could happen. And it was, and they showed it in schools, Reece. They made teenagers watch it in schools.
I didn't know this till many years later, and somebody said to me, no, we show it all the time. It's being shown in school. I think, what? But obviously it was even though I say it myself, it's obviously a brilliant, hard-hitting piece. And they thought that message should be, got out there for all and sundry.
Did you notice, the day you got the script, did you realise this was something that was going to be a bit special?
Well, this is the thing. Like I said to you, I'm not sure how much your listeners will want to hear me, because it is 34 years ago, and my memory is very hazy about the whole period, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of things I've done since, and it's just one of many, but I am very proud of it, I must say. But so my thinking back, I can't quite remember. What I do remember is reading it and thinking, this is extraordinary, an extraordinary piece. And it, of course, was written by Barry Hines, who, for me, where I come from, I'm a Yorkshire lad. I was born and raised in the heartlands of West Yorkshire, the mining towns, and Barry Hines was just the most fantastic writer. I mean, talking about showing kids things, I showed my boy Cares for the first time about 6 months ago, which is a kind of rites of passage film, isn't it, for any young kid? And absolutely broke his heart. That's why I'm reticent to show him threads. But I remember reading this and thinking, this is by Barry Hines. Oh, my God, I might be in a Barry Hines film. Irrespective of the fact that it was absolutely brilliant subject matter. It was the height of the Cold War, wasn't it? We were all very aware it was probably, or hopefully not, could be imminent. So I just remember reading and thinking, this is a fantastic piece. And wanting the part desperately, and there you go, got lucky.
How did you get into the acting, Reece? What was kind of what were your mum and dad doing? What was the reaction when you said, I want to be an actor?
Very strange. I mean, my dad was originally for many years a miner, and then he went into work in a factory. My mum was a nurse. They have no history of acting in the family, and I was forced into a school play at an early age. I think I played Tom Sawyer. Didn't want to do it, but I did it, and it's the usual cliche. I got praised for it and clapped, and I thought, my God, for the first time in my life, people said I was good at something.
Yeah.
So from the age of 12, I just thought, I want to be an actor. I want to do this. I had, this is what I want to do, and I wouldn't be thrown off it. People I used to take tons of kind of ridicule and abuse at school from my mates, thinking, want to be a bloody actor? What's that about? And I just, from the age of 12, wanted to do it so badly that I when I got to 17, I auditioned for drama schools, went to London as a very young 18-year-old, And the rest is history. Just followed the dream, really.
And your parents were cool with it? Because I remember, because I wanted to be an actor. That was the plan. And I studied performing arts, but I wasn't very good. So I did a bit of comedy. Then I ended up presenting, which isn't... Okay. Presenting's not a real job, because you basically...
I don't know. I couldn't do it.
No, but it's just you just sat there talking to other people. That's it.
That's a gift, mate. Tell you, that's hard. I mean, I'm one of these people... I think I became an actor. It's funny you should say that, because I'm sitting here in my own home, being nervous. But I think I became an actor because I could also hide behind other people. I think I was nervous as a young kid, and I hadn't found my voice. You could argue my bipolar days, I still haven't. But what I found in acting was I was able to express myself in a way that I'd never known how to do before. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I could escape into it. So I think what you do is a gift, because you can be you, and you can be honest, and you can say what you like, and you don't maybe care. You just think, I'll put it out there.
Yeah.
But I'm not confident enough. I wasn't then, certainly, to perhaps be me as much as I would like. And so it was a great outlet for me to express myself. And my parents were great, to be fair. I mean, they didn't know the first thing about auditioning for drama schools. My God, I'm in a mining town in West Yorkshire, and I'm going to London, and they're dropping me off at the train in Wakefield, and I'm going down there, and I'm doing my bit for an audition and coming back there on the club. But funny enough, and this is not me being arrogant, I hope, I got into the first 4 that I went for.
There we go.
And so what I think they went was, my God, the lad must be able to, he must have something if they're all giving him a place.
Yeah.
So from that point on, Ian, they went, right, we're backing him. And they backed me to the hilt, and they saw everything. They still have to this day, they're 86, and they've seen every single theatre piece I've ever been in, and my mum still watches reruns of Home to Roost, and all the rest of it. And it's crazy, but they were brilliant.
I was going to say, is your mum still with us?
They both are.
Oh,
I saw them this morning. They live about an hour away, and I live up in Yorkshire.
Then I have to ask, if your mum and dad are still with you, I have your CV in front of me, and you've done so much. You've been, consistently in work. What's the biggest thrill when you were on Coronation Street? Because that would have for any mum, surely, that to have their boy on Coronation Street.
I think for them it perhaps was not for me. Although I love Corinne, I love all the soaps there. I can't sing the praises of that soap actors enough. They get a lot of, not everyone respects them. And my God, the work that some of those actors do day in, day out.
Oh, they're doing like 5 shows a night now.
It's ludicrous. But they're all, most of them are absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
So for mum and dad, that was the pinnacle in a way, but not for me. It was I had a dabble in it, and I enjoyed it to a degree, but it wasn't necessarily what I'm about, really, I suppose.
Yeah. You talk about confidence and maybe lacking confidence as a younger man and being nervous now. And I think people are always, surprised when actors and performers go, actually, I'm a little bit nervous. But I think the insecurity is quite a big thing in it. But then you've been directing a lot recently. And that does require a different kind of confidence, because you've got to walk into a room with however many people are in it, and the stage managers and the lights, and they go, right, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, and I'm finding my feet. As you say, I've been doing it for the last 5 or 6 years, and it's just television. In fact, it's not theatre. It's just been television dramas. But it's the same thing. You walk into a room on day one with the whole cast and the whole crew, and you have to take command, and you have to stand up and speak. And it's been a learning curve, and I didn't know if I had that in me. But I think what I've had all along is an ability to dare myself to do things.
Yeah.
Which I think is required, actually, for the job. It's all right being insecure, but you can't be a wallflower totally to be an actor. You have to have courage and a bravery to get up there and actually do it, which I've always been able to do, as I say, as another character. But the directing lark is a different thing. It's me. And so I was afforded the opportunity, really. It came out of the blue. I was playing the main part in one of these dramas that Jimmy McGovern does, called Moving On.
Yeah.
And they turned around to me and said, you really ought to direct. And I was the ripe old age of 52. And And I thought, what? But I thought, well, okay, let's not look a gift horse in the mouth. Let's have a little go. And I did, and I dove in and, held my nose. And it worked. And they keep asking me back, so I must be doing something.
You must be doing something. Again, Jimmy McGovern, I mean, you have worked with some of the best writers this country has spat out, haven't you?
I guess I have, and I'm very honoured. It's wonderful, when you. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be on your show and start saying yes, I've worked with so and so and so and so and so and so. So, but I have worked with some great people, and it's a joy. And without those words, you can do nothing, because it all starts with the writer.
When you're working with someone like Jimmy McGovern, I mean, is it the script is set in stone? Is it? I mean, what kind of input do you get
with this series? Jimmy did the first series, and then from then on, he's now like the exec producer, but he's really like oversees every single script. Yeah. So he doesn't write all the scripts now. He oversees new writers, seasoned writers who write with him on things like The Accused, The Street, Broken. So he's very much involved. So Jimmy is all over it, and it's just incredible. I'm there doing a conference call with Jimmy McGovern discussing a script that I'm about to direct, and I'm having to pinch myself, because it's like, I'm talking to Jimmy McGovern, and he's asking me what I think about scene 34, and blah-de-blah. I'm thinking, this is ridiculous. But it's a joy, and I'm a big boy now, and that's what I do, and it's been wonderful.
What are you working on at the moment, then, Reece? What's happening at the moment?
Just finishing one. In fact, another one. It's a drama about the state of education piece, and I've just finished the edit, and I'm just about to go into the dub. So that should be out either at the back end of this year or January, February of next year. I never know when they're going to be out. But yes, so I've had my directing hat on, and before that, I was doing some theatre. I was playing. I was doing a bit of classical theatre. In fact, doing Harlot Solness in The Master Builder by Ibsen. Yeah. So I just keep bringing the changes when I can. Really.
It's funny, isn't it, to be... I mean, you started sort of in the early 80s, and to still be working in 2018, consistently working, that's not bad going, is it, for a lad from Yorkshire?
Yeah, I think that. I think, the grass is always greener somewhere else. Someone's always doing better than you, and that's fine. But I've come to a realisation that I do what I do, and if I enjoy that, that's all that matters, I've had a fantastic career. I hope to continue, but it's not about... that kind of youthful ambition that you have in my business leaves you somewhat. I'm still driven by the passion I have for performing and for creating and being an artist, but I'm not mad for it, if you know what I'm saying. I just love doing it. I don't sit at home eating up by the fact that I'm not doing this or not doing that. It's pointless. I just get on with what I do.
Did you have that for a while? I'll tell you what, years ago, Reece, I started on a show called The 11 O'Clock Show, and on that show was Ricky Gervais and Sacha Baron Cohen.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. So you're on a show working with two of the funniest people literally in the world.
On the planet.
The planet. And of course they go off to Hollywood and make movies and make millions of dollars. Yeah. And I must admit, Reece, for a good few years, I was consumed by that. That should have been me. I should have been doing that. I haven't got it now.
Ian, isn't it? That's okay. That's normal. You're allowed that.
Yeah.
You can feel that. You would be a bit weird if you didn't.
So did you have that for a bit when you see people like I don't know who your peers might be, Tim Roth or Gary Oldman and stuff, go off and do movies and things? Was there a period when you were younger and you thought, man, that should be me?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, funnily enough, you mentioned it. Tim and I did a two-hander film for BBC One about a true story about two lads who dressed up as coppers and went around nicking people in a souped-up police car for ulterior lights and things like that. But yes, I worked very, very well, and they went off and did Hollywood, and I didn't. And there you go. But I think you get to a point where you go, you got to look at yourself and what you do and what you do deliver. And I'm very happy with what I've delivered. I have no problem with that. I know, and it's if I can feel contented with that, then that's all that matters. It's not always down to that, though, is it? There are all sorts of things that happen that take people here, there, and everywhere. You're not always in charge of that. So you have to let go of that. It would kill you. So that went long ago. And I'm many, many years ago, but I'm much happier for it that I just believe in what I do and enjoy what I do.
That's the attitude that I'm grasping towards as I get older, and it's great. And it is, and I think it does come with age. I think it comes with age.
Yeah, it does.
Letting go.
I'm 58. I'm an old man.
What? You've still got a young boy's voice. What's 58? What are you talking about? Really?
Well, what was weird was going back to Home to Roost. Was what happened with that was very few people know this, and it's like everybody goes, "You're 58. What are you talking about?" I played Matthew Willers in Home to Roost, who was age 17. The character was 17.
Yeah.
And they saw all these 17-year-olds for a part, and they couldn't get the right actor to work with John. So the producer had seen me in a play at the Royal Court.
This is John Thor, by the way, for people who don't know. It was a sitcom with John Thor. Because we got kids listening to us, Reece.
Okay, John Thor. Okay, well, John Thor was a very, very, very famous actor.
Yes.
But for the kids listening. And in fact, my dad used to let me stay up to watch him in the Sweeney.
Oh, wow.
I think it was Thursday night, so at 8 o'clock, I was staying up watching John Thor.
Your Nick, son.
So when they said many, many years later, do you want to do this virtually a two-hander sitcom with John Thor? And I'd left drama school, I was doing Threads and this, that, and the other. I was thinking, I don't want to be in a sitcom. But as soon as I said it's with John Thor, I'm like, hang about, this is a bit serious, this is good. So they'd seen all these kids who were 17, and no one was quite right. And the producers had seen me in a play at the Court, and they said, bring Reece in, he looks 17. So I was 25 on the first day of shooting Home to Roost, playing 17, and 4 years later, at the age of 29, we're still doing it, and I was playing 18 in just going to college.
Fantastic.
And people thought of me as being 18.
Yeah.
So it's that people now think I'm only about 44 or something. Yeah. But alas, I'm not.
How do you... There must... When you're working with someone like John Thorne, you say you watch the Sweeney, what is that like? The first day you walk in, I know you said your memory's terrible, but when you sat reading your lines with him, that must be just overwhelming.
Yeah, again, I suppose the arrogance of youth there's something to be said for that as well. And if you've got some belief in what you did, and I have to be honest, I had to do a screen test with John, and we just hit it off.
Right.
It just was like bang, 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 bang. You, me, you. Like Chuckle Brothers, and it was like we were just brilliant together, and we both knew it. I know I'm saying that, it sounds arrogant, but we just knew the chemistry was right, and so I could sense it, John could sense it, and I could see in John's face, and he was very, very lovely with me. So I never had that. Oh my God, this is John Thor. We just got off on the right foot, and it always worked for us. And we had a great time.
Reece, honestly, it's such a thrill to chat to you. And I'm so glad. This sounds so patronising. I'm so glad you're doing so well. But I really, really am. But just quickly going back to Threads before I let you go. Did you know they were going to? Spoiler alert, guys. He doesn't make it to the end of the film, all right? I think 35 years later we're allowed to kind of...
You're okay. You can get away with that one, I think.
You're not in it perhaps as much as you'd have liked to be. But did you know they were bringing it out again, or did you suddenly get a flurry of tweets from people, hashtag Threads?
Twitter is new to me, by the way. I've just done it in the last 12 months just to kind of remind people I'm here.
Yes.
So it did come through Twitter, and it just said, this is being remastered. And it's incredible because... Only a few months ago, they had this mass tweet in, or whatever, where everybody watched Threads together simultaneously and commented on Twitter. And there were hundreds and hundreds of people just piling in and saying, oh my God, look at this, now Jimmy's gone, is he going to die? It's incredible.
Yeah.
The reaction it still has. So that's how I found out about it anyway, that it was being released.
It is a remarkable film. Catherine, my producer, she's never seen it. And she's really reluctant. Okay. Maybe Catherine could watch it with your son. There we go.
Luca and Nell, my daughter. Yeah, we could do that.
We'll do that.
We'll hold hands together.
Reece, it's so nice to talk to you, man. And I really appreciate you replying to my tweets and tweeting my sister and coming on tonight, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks for making me welcome, Ian.
Cheers, Reece. Ta-ta. There we go. Reece Dinsdale. And if you want to find him on Twitter, it's at Reece Dinsdale. I think I should just double-check that. Make sure. Yeah, there we go. It's at Reece_Dinsdale. And it's Reece, REECE_Dinsdale. What a nice... 58! You look at a picture of him, he looks younger than me. What the hell is going on with these people? What a nice man. So, the late night alternative continues 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Experience the unconventional.
Hello.
The unpredictable.
Don't you think that's a bit weird?
And the completely unorthodox.
It was my birthday.
With rule-free Iain Lee.
I was just trying to generate a bit of content.
The late night alternative with Iain Lee.
Hate alarm clock. Hate going to work.
On Talk Radio.
What you can hear, that's not going to hold that. Hang on. I've got to break this tape now. Hang on. That's not going to hold. Let go. Look at that. Absolute pony studio we work in. But what you could hear was the sound of me trying to fix the microphone here, which, as I adjusted it slightly, it snapped off. Got no blooming microphone. So, well, obviously got a microphone. So, but it's not the one we would normally use. So there you go. These things happen. 03444991000 is the telephone number. It's the late night alternative on Talk Radio with me, Iain Lee. You can watch us on Periscope. You can watch us on YouTube, and you can call in 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Let's go to James. Good evening, James.
Good evening, Ian. Good to speak to you, mate.
It's good to speak to you, James. It's going to be a hell of a show tonight.
It's already a
Thank you,
already a hell of a show, mate. I was the reason I wanted to call was you were saying earlier you sort of fell into comedy,
yes,
and then presenting, and that sort of a radio show is my absolute goal. For me that's the dream, kind of thing to be doing. And I'm 18 at the minute, and so young still, but I was looking almost just for advice, I think.
Advice? Well, here's my advice. Here's how I got on to work in radio. I hosted a thrice weekly late night topical comedy show on Channel 4. And in those days, they were radio stations were just throwing shows at people that worked on TV, hoping they would drag an audience over. So that's how I did. That's how I got on to it, James. I cheated. I didn't do the thing of knocking on doors and sending tapes and going and making coffee and doing any of that stuff. I was on the telly and they gave me a radio show.
How did you get to the telly?
That's a secret. Okay, how did I get in the telly? On the telly, I did performing arts for 3 years, so I learnt acting. But I couldn't get any acting work when I left college. Not much acting work, a little bit. But there had been a module on my course of stand-up comedy where Hugh Thomas, who's a great stand-up and compere, taught us the basics of stand-up comedy, microphone technique, how to perform to an audience and stuff. So when I left college...
That's quite interesting to me. When you look at it, because it's such a polished product whenever you see it.
Well, it wasn't when I did it, but the simple things of how you talk into a microphone, the number of times, if you give someone a microphone... most people, it will very rarely stay in front of their mouth. They'll move it away, they'll pull it down, and it's like if I do a show now with a microphone and I go to someone in the audience and give them the microphone, they won't speak into the microphone. Now, it's a really, really obvious thing, but microphone technique, you could spend weeks learning microphone technique.
No way.
Well, of course you could. There are so many different things you can do. I do a thing that not many radio hosts do, and I've never listened back to it, so I don't know if people notice it. But I kind of use my microphone here, sort of like an instrument, in as much as I will sometimes come up very close to get intimate and do that. And then I'll shout off microphone so it sounds there, and then I'll sit back.
Noticed that, Ian.
I'm riding the microphone, man. I'm rocking all over the place. If I want to, sound passionate, I will get back a bit and shout a bit. I will push it out of the way so I can talk to Catherine over here and pretend that I'm not being heard by anybody. All of that stuff. So the microphone, man, that's where the power's at.
Mm. You see, I'd noticed James O'Brien, and I saw or listened to your Joe interview with him, which was brilliant.
He's good, James, isn't he? He's a good lad. He knows what he's talking about.
He does the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
He'd do the microphone technique.
Yeah, I do it better, but I know what you mean. I know what I'm telling you, he's good. So there's that. So, but why is it radio specifically you want to get into?
You see, I think it's because it's so intimate.
Yes.
I did a week's work experience at the BBC to try and worm my way anyway I could into the fun of anything, and we were recording it was a Northern Ireland only a sitcom thing, but I remember it was ages of filming and for very little content, and in the radio it's just there, it's just...
James, are you from Northern Ireland?
Yeah, I am.
Say, I'm going to spell a word. Could you say it for me?
All right.
F-I-L-M.
Film.
Okay, so you don't say film?
No.
Okay.
No, that's...
Have I made a racial slur against you by suggesting that...
I don't think so.
Okay, good, because anyway.
I think accents are fair game.
Well, no, I wasn't. No, genuinely, I'm not having a dig. It's just I noticed.
No.
I noticed you said filming, and I wondered if. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's fake.
I know my auntie. She is a teacher in Brighton.
Right.
And she's a big swimmer, and she said she was going to help these students, but first she had to go to the pool, and then the way they heard it, rather than hearing swimming pool, they heard poo. And she didn't find out until they'd asked another teacher. And the people said to the teacher, where's Miss Caldwell? And they said, she's gone to do a poo. So, that's the accent thing.
That's fantastic.
Wasn't it? I thought it was quite funny.
I have to tell that to my boys. My boys are 8 and 6, and they find poos hilarious. I mean, and let's be honest, poos are hilarious.
They are. It's a common thread in comedy.
It's a common thread. So, you want to do radio because it's intimate, which
and
is
then the
good.
other thing as well.
Yeah.
Is I watch very little TV.
Yep.
And I sort of struggle to find the time to read books. But with radio and podcasts especially, I can just do anything. Drive.
Are you making a podcast?
No.
Why not?
I gave it a go. I'd done it in an app called Anchor, but I struggle to think of content.
Isn't Anchor for like a live show type thing? Is Anchor a live streaming thing?
I think that was the issue.
I had Anchor. Anchor's was because I did some stuff on Anchor, and there was another one that was like a live streaming thing, which I can't think what it was. But you don't need anything like that. Download an app for free, an editing app. The one I use is Audacity because it's free and it's easy and it don't do anything fancy, but I don't want it to do anything fancy. Mm-hmm. Spend a few quid if you can on getting a decent microphone, but if you can't afford it, then don't worry. And make something. Make something.
Yeah.
Make something about what are you interested in?
Economics, comedy.
Right. Okay. There's not much. There are
conversation.
Conversation.
Talk radio is a good example of it, I think.
Well, sometimes. Maybe not between 6:30 and 10 in the morning. But, all right. Well, go and find some interesting people. My mate Watko, right? He did this... Watko. He's a radio presenter, and he's one of the good people, right? And he made this brilliant podcast, and I can't for the life of me think what it's called. But basically, he went and chatted to about 8 people, right? And recorded it.
Yeah.
And he edited it down to something like 10 6-minute episodes where you'd get like a bit from one conversation. Put a lot of work into it.
Yeah,
a bit from one conversation. He cut himself out of it, so he wasn't even in it.
Oh, I always liked that.
Oh, I think it's great. It's a brave thing for a presenter to do, to cut themselves out of it.
But I think as well, because I have the ego, I'd struggle.
Yeah, well, but he cut himself out of it, and he edited it, and I think there was. I wonder if I can find it. What was it called? Hang on a second. Let me see if I don't think I've got it on this computer, and I haven't got Twitter open. Let me see. Stay there, because I'm see if I can play a bit of it. No.
And this is your mate's podcast, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not there. I tell you, I'm going to open Twitter, even though I don't like Twitter. If someone on Twitter can tell me the name of it or where I can find this podcast, then let us know. Because Catherine, what are you pointing at? Bits and Pieces. No, I don't know if it's that one. I don't know if it is Bits and Pieces. No, because it's not. It's not. No, it's not. It's not. Someone will let me know. 5 minutes of. That's it. 5 minutes of. I wonder if it's still on iTunes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes of. Let's have a little look. Podcasts. 5 minutes of. See all. No, I don't see it.
Well, I mean, I'll Google it, and I'm sure I will find it.
He might have taken it down because he's funny like that. He takes stuff down. Anyway, I'll see if someone can send me some, and I'll play some after 11. But basically, go out and make stuff, man. You've got all this technology there. Go and make stuff. And here's something. It sounds cheesy. I read this the other day, or I heard it somewhere. It sounds cheesy. We only fail when we don't try. It's true, man. By not trying that's the failure. Go out, and if it's rubbish, don't matter. Don't have to play it to anyone. Just go and learn and practice and do all of that.
And I can just tell, just listening as well, the way he speaks, more polished than normal conversation. Is that something you sort of learn from doing the show very regularly? Or is that just how you've always spoken?
What do you mean more polished?
I'm stuttering and slow with my words a bit just because I'm speaking conversationally.
No, you're not. The only time I've noticed you slow with your words was when you just said, I'm slow with my words. That was the only time I noticed you... Seriously, I'm not patronising you because I wouldn't. I would be honest. That's the only time... Honesty, there's another thing. Be honest. That's literally the only time in this conversation I've heard you slow down. So,
very good. That's quite reassuring.
Honestly, don't even let that be a consideration for now, because I hadn't noticed it at all.
Thanks, Ian. Appreciate that.
Hey, James, listen, I wish you the best of luck. Call in again. And
can I ask you one other wee thing quickly?
Of course you can.
I've wondered about this for a while, because you were saying you don't like Twitter. It was, the well thing?
Yes. I don't want to talk about that. It brings back bad memories.
This is what I wanted to ask about, Ian.
Yep.
I wasn't sure if you actually don't want to talk about it, or if that's like a meme.
Here's the thing you need to understand, James. The whole well situation.
Yeah.
I can feel my chest tightening. It was a very, very traumatic experience for me, and a lot of people got humour from that.
It was actually a traumatic experience.
Yeah. The whole well thing was a traumatic experience for me.
Yeah, that is sort of what I wondered. Because I saw you'd retweeted a picture where they blurred your hand to make it look like it was an indecent act.
Yeah.
And I could see the humour in that. And I wasn't sure whether that was something that you...
I tried to laugh, because it's that thing when people are laughing at you, you don't want to go, oh, stop laughing at me! Stop it! So I kind of went along with it. But if you've noticed, I've deleted all of my tweets, because it was just, I'm trying to put the whole thing behind me.
Okay, I'm sorry for bringing it up.
No worries, James.
I'm kind of glad I did. I'm glad for clarifying that in my own head.
Well, listen, this show, I say, we talk about anything, and I say I'm honest, and I'm open to anything, so you can ask me anything. James, give us a call again, man, and we'll have a chat.
Will do. Great.
Cheers, thanks, Ian. Ta-ta, bye-bye. 03444991000, Jessica, and then John. Hey! All of the callers' names have began with J. Wow, man! Trippy! This is Talk Radio.
Moonlit musings from mums, madams, and meat packets. Weekdays.
Oh, never mind, I must have misheard.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
The station's brilliant.
On Talk Radio.
So found out today my wife's a drugs mule. That's a true story. That's actually a true story. I don't want to go into it too much because it's a really sad story. But I don't live in that house anymore, but my family do. And I'd noticed that there'd been some parcels had arrived at the house that were in someone else's name. And I didn't really ask anything about it because I've got more important things to worry about. Found out today that it's someone getting drugs delivered to our house. Drugs. And I didn't know anything about it. Outrageous. I'd have been all over that. I wouldn't have. What are you talking about? But actually, I've since spoken to a few neighbours or one neighbour who's also had similar. He's the one that alerted us to it and said that he'd opened it. He said, I didn't give a stuff. Broke the law. I opened it. It was full of drugs. I went, wow. And then I spoke to the family that's quite probably involved with it. It's a really, really sad story. It's a really sad story of a young person who's just sort of going off in the one direction, and hopefully this could be a little wake up call and could just nudge him back into the right direction. It's a really sad story, but it was very exciting as well. Drugs being delivered to our house, but I would imagine. I really am starting to think the internet is a bad thing. I'm really starting to think it, right? Front page of the Daily Mail. Don't worry, it's a dull story, but computer meltdown hits up to 2 million. Frantic customers can't use cards or accounts and chaos could last week. Totally shambolic bank. Up to 2 million TSB customers face weeks of chaos because of catastrophic IT meltdown. And then do you remember last year when the Russians or the Siberians or someone attacked all the computers and the NHS closed down for like 2 or 3 days? It closed down because they were all using like Windows 98 or something, weren't they? Or Windows Millennium or something like that. Really crappy Windows. And I suspect that this young person that was getting drugs delivered to our house was getting them online. We talked the other day, didn't we, about Gumtree. On Gumtree, you can go and buy cocaine. People advertising cocaine. And I do think this is what I would, if I was a right, here we go, right. If I were the leader of a political party, I would make a really bold pronouncement. And that bold pronouncement would be, we're going to shut down the internet. Vote for us, and we will shut down the internet. Want to know more? Go to our website. That's the catch. But that's what I would do. That's what I would do. Shut down the internet. Or at least make it available to over 21s only, and for 2 hours a week. That's what I would do. Seriously, I do think the internet has gone too far. Say, I'm pretty much off Twitter, right? And I've pretty much stopped looking at forums that are not healthy for me. The Talk Forum and Digital Spy. Pretty much stopped. Talk Forum, I'm watching another man's downfall, and that's not nice. The fact that I'm going online to watch another man's life falling apart. That's not nice. And I'm better than that. I'm better than the internet. Use that. You can use it as a slogan. Iain Lee, better than the internet. Put it on the posters for this show. Posters. Flippin' heck. So I'm pretty much off that. And I'm pretty much off Twitter. I say pretty much, I'm still looking. Occasionally, and I've not posted today. I just posted, I just retweeted one then from the person who helped sort out getting Reece Dinsdale on the show, and then she's messaged me and said, "Oh, you must come to the threads or the Reece Q&A that we're doing in Yorkshire," and I went, "Here we go." I went, "Well, you've probably got someone sorted, but if you haven't got a host for it, I'm throwing my hat into the ring." She went, "Oh, I'll have a word with Reece." So I got myself a nice... Imagine that, beautiful. Sat on a stage with Reece Dinsdale. Microphones. So I think the time... What was that? So Catherine was miming sucking on a No? Okay. That's what it looked like from here. That's what it looked like from here, guys. Got my post-it note, don't swear. Going to have more of these post-it notes popping up around. Catherine, I knew you'd raise your eyebrows. Seriously, man, focuses the mind. This show is good, right? It can be a whole lot better. Kath's now going to type a swear word on the screen to me because that's her humour. Good evening, Jessica.
Yeah, hello there, Ian.
Hello, Jessica. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. I was in Threads.
Sorry?
I was in Threads.
You're joking?
No, seriously.
Who were you?
I was only 7. I was just like an extra.
Now, isn't this funny? Because I know... right. Excuse me for a second, Jessica. I'm going to turn and talk to the I'm going to do a comic aside, so it's not comic, to the audience, okay? So you can't hear this. Jessica's been phoning me for about 12 years, on and off. Right, mainly off, but occasionally on, right? And used to phone me a lot when I was at LBC, and then kind of it tapered off and rediscovered me. And she phones maybe once every 6 months, then maybe once in 6 weeks, and then and then big gaps. Right? Not a regular, not a caddick, thank God. And I was thinking about... I'm now turning to you, Jessica. I was thinking about you the other day, because just occasionally, sometimes, random thoughts. And I was thinking... Jessica, I've got no idea. I don't know anything about you, and until you just told me you were 7 years old in Threads, I had no idea of your age.
Okay, how old did you think I was?
Do you really want me to say?
Well, if you want.
52.
What?
Well, I know! And you've got a young voice, but Reece had a young voice, and he's nearly 60. And you've got a young voice, and I thought it was such a deceptive... I thought maybe it's one of those deceptive voices where she sounds young, but you sound 12. All right, here we go. You sound 12... This is going to sound like a horrible insult. You sound 12, but I thought it was a double bluff and you were really 52. But now you're telling me what? Are you 39?
No, I'm 41.
41.
Well, nearly 41. I'll be 41 in July.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to be 45 in June, and I'm already saying I'm 45.
Yeah, you do that kind of thing when you get older.
I'm actually...
Not quite when you're 52.
I'm actually 44 3/4, but 45 sounds better. Well, there you go. So what did you do in Threads? Were you blown up by a nuclear bomb?
No, I wasn't. I was part of I think it was a CND protest.
Oh.
We were on the City Hall steps.
Yeah, I remember it, yeah.
Yeah, I went along with my brother, who was like in the Sheffield Youth Theatre. And when I look back, I've had this conversation with my mum. I've said, why did you let that happen? But we had to shout at the police, the people pretending to be the police.
Yeah.
And that's ironic because my dad was a copper.
Oh, great.
In real life. And I just remember thinking it was fun, really. And then everyone was invited to go and see sort of the film, but I wasn't old enough to go along to the showing of the film. But when I watched it afterwards, I could spot myself in the crowd.
Fantastic.
And yeah, it was like, I was in the full Monty. I sort of specialised in being an extra.
Oh.
In films.
I think Threads is more impressive than the full Monty.
It is really, isn't it? But I do remember just being sort of excited by it.
Yeah.
But when I look at it now, I think, God, that's such a dark movie.
Isn't it grim?
It's so ahead of itself.
Oh, I think it's ahead of its time, as opposed to ahead of itself.
Definitely.
I think it's about 25 minutes too long. But because we kind of get the idea. All right, you got to go and kill a radioactive sheep. But it is the best word I can think of for that film is grey. It's grey.
Definitely.
And that's a compliment. I'm saying that as a compliment. It's a very grey film.
Yeah.
So do you do extra-ing now?
Well, do you know what? For a while I was an actress, but then I stopped because I couldn't take the rejection and I just got bored of it. I got bored of having to sort of be an actor, really.
Yeah.
But probably for about 5 or 6 years I was an actress, and I was in little bits and pieces here and there,
Isn't it funny? Most actors, and Reece was talking about being shy, most performers, I think, are very insecure people. And a lot of them, have self-loathing issues. Not all of them, but they're insecure, and it's a job, particularly acting. This one to a certain extent, but particularly acting. It's a job where most of the time people are going to say, "No, you're not good enough."
Yeah.
Which is an amazing thing to be hit with. You could go to 100 auditions and 99 of them will say, "No, we don't think you're good enough," or "You're not right," or "You don't look right," or "You don't sound right." That's a lot of rejection to take on.
I think that if you want to be an actor, and I mean, I went to drama school and everything. I mean, I went to sort of, Central School of Drama. It was quite a respectable drama school.
Yeah, I auditioned there.
But did you get in?
No.
I did.
No, but I did get offered a place at Guildhall, which I think is where Reece went. I got offered a place there and I turned it down.
Yeah, but I remember in my final year at Central, they had like guest directors.
Yes.
And this director said to me, you need to be more ambitious. Don't just aim for the chorus line. And at that point, even before I'd graduated, I realised it wasn't for me, because I thought, do you know what? I'd be quite happy to be part of the chorus line. And that's when, if you can imagine yourself being anything else but an actor, you shouldn't be an actor. And if you can only imagine yourself being an actor, then I guess you shouldn't take the kind of blows and trauma and the highs,
Since #MeToo and Harvey Weinstein, no one has to take the blows anymore, okay, guys? No one has to take the blows anymore. Yeah. Jessica, I've got to go to the news. Thanks for calling.
Hi then,
nice to speak to you. Ta-ta. 03444991000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Laugh me a laugh, grin me a grin, and then I know that we can win. Dance me a dance, joke me a joke, and blow the clouds away. You gotta play me a tune, or sing me a song, and we can help push life along. Just you and me, come on and see, together we'll be okay. Open the door, open your heart, and then we've got somewhere to start. Just turn around, look what we found. Today's a brand new day. You gotta run with me now, I'll show you how. The world is waiting, take a bow. Show them it's you, what you can do. Together we two can win. A rock on Tommy, dance to a tune that this guitar sings. A rock on Tommy, just get up and spread your wings. Spread your wings, follow me through into the sun, and we can smile at everyone. You gotta join in with me, then we are free. It isn't hard to do. I said life is a song, so just sing along, and then we know we can't go wrong. Just you and me, come on and see. Together we'll be okay. Together we'll be okay. Together we'll be okay.
There we go. Oh, man. Kath, you've still not seen the end of the last episode of Last Laugh in Vegas. Flipping heck, man. It was good. What a great programme. In fact, that's what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm watching, before I go to the premiere of the new Tomb Raider game, going to the premiere, the launch. Before that, I'm going to watch the variety show that they did, and they put it on ITV3. 03444991000, Late Night Alternative. Hello, my name is Iain Lee. You can give us a call about absolutely anything you want. I can't remember what we talked about at all in the last hour, so let's start afresh. Good evening, John.
I want to know if you be my girl. Hey, that last off in Vegas, that's good, isn't
it? Is this a cassette recording?
No.
Right. Are you in the same room as your telephone?
I am, but I'm hiding.
What are you hiding from?
Ian, do you fancy a game of hide and seek?
Yeah, I do, actually. I really, really do, yes.
Go on, well, I've been sat here for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
For my 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
I'm hiding, and you've got to guess where I am.
Okay. You're upstairs, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay.
I wish I had some funny music to go in the background now.
No, you don't need funny music. Say some more. Tell me what you have for breakfast today.
I had for breakfast today shredded wheat.
Are you in the bathroom?
No.
Are you in a cupboard? A wardrobe? Get it! I knew it! There was something a little bit dead about the sound.
Oh, I thought I'd get you with the wardrobe. I thought you'd think I was in the bathroom.
Well, I did think you was in the bathroom, but then I quickly changed it to you should have set me the number of guesses. Anyway, I got it on my third guess, so I win. Thanks for calling.
You win.
Oh,
I love you. Bye.
Bye. There we go. What a weirdo. So Watko sent me one of his 5 minutes of. I've not heard it. Shall we just play it? I've got to download it. Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. So this is 5 minutes. It's a bit random. We've got no phone calls, so we might as well. And this is done by my friend Watko. Shall we have a little listen? Here we go.
I remember that, yeah. They reckon it was moody, though, didn't they? Well, they reckon it was made up, didn't they? Well, the conspiracies that it was supposed to be not right, not true. And it was all, like, doctored. Ain't you seen that programme about it? Because they was, like, the photos that they'd taken, there were shadows in the wrong angle to where the light was coming from and all that. Ain't you seen the programme?
Well, we only have the video, or whatever you want to term it, the cinematic evidence to say that Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin went to the moon. We only have that evidence. I don't know what more you need to prove that Neil and Buzz actually went to the moon.
So do you think they went to the moon?
Based upon the information presented, yes.
No, I don't think they did. I don't think anybody could go that far. When you listen and see the film footage where the experts are saying, look, the flag and the image of the flag and it was going the wrong way and all the background of it, I didn't believe it then, and I don't believe it now. I just don't think it happened at all. I just think it was just a thing of television.
I don't believe in that at all. I mean, my fella is a believer of the moon landing and everything else. I still honestly believe that there was a studio setting. For Christ's sake, look at the shadows. You know, there's no shadows on the moon.
How the hell did it get to the moon in those days? And getting back as well. It's not just getting there, is it? It's getting there, landing. How'd you get back?
Did we have enough technology to get there? I believe we have now. Did we then? I mean, I believe anything's possible if we study it and try long enough. Did we do it? Was it a boast to get ahead of somebody else? I believe we could land things on the moon, but landing on the moon and coming back and doing it without crashing, you know, I mean, I could, with a bit of luck, if I aimed something high enough and I got the trajectory right, the right time of year, I could probably land something on the moon, but I wouldn't be able to get it back. It's probably completely disintegrate if it was one of my rockets as it hit the moon's surface.
There was somebody with a camera going, camera roll action. They did the bit, they took the photos. Why aren't we doing it every day? I mean, they keep saying, well, it's money, it's cost. How scarce was money back on the first moon landing? Let's get real. But they did it. Why are we not doing shuttle services to the moon? It's just farcical.
I'm very much open-minded. I wouldn't like to say that it didn't happen, but on the other hand, I wouldn't like to say that it did.
Yeah, I'd like to believe that we did. I can remember watching it. It's one of my first memories of TV, because it was 1969 and I'd be 3 years old. So it was black and white. I can remember it.
When it landed there, and he came out, walked down the steps, and he jumped onto the surface and says, "This is one step for mankind." There was no indentations as such. Now, the way he jumped on there, bear in mind how much those suits must weigh. You'd have thought, on sand, you jump, you walk onto any beach, and you jump up and down, and then you look down on the beach. You know, it's gone in, isn't it? It was just flat. No, sorry, no. No, there's a lot of kidology, in my opinion.
I think it's wonderful if they did what they're supposed to have done, you know. But they're contradicting it all now, aren't they? You know, you don't know.
If people want to believe that people went to the moon, then that's fine.
It's easier to believe that we did than to believe all these stupid theories that it was all concocted in some sort of a studio somewhere just so that they can get more funding. If they're going to get more funding, what are they getting funding for? To keep on doing what they're doing? If there's nothing there, what's the point? We're talking about scientists who have got brains far superior to mine or yours. We're talking about military who have got potential for being out there in space for arms reasons. We've got dedicated scientists and philosophers and seekers after truth. Why would they run a scam just for money? They've got far more important things to think about than money. These men are quite old now, and soon there will be no more men that walked on the moon. And they get terribly angry when people say to them, "We don't believe you." I haven't been to the moon. I haven't been into the upper atmosphere. I haven't seen the moon close up. I've only seen it through a telescope. I think I'd like to see it myself and land before I believe it. I'm not saying it. I do. I sort of half believe it and I half don't. I don't know. I'm tied up in it.
Buzz, I swear on my life I would not tell a living soul. Just tell me now. Did you really do it?
That's great, isn't it? I mean, Watko made that. Ian Watkins. He's on a radio station, Mansfield 103.2, 3.3. I always get it wrong. And I think he's brilliant. I've asked him if he's taken them offline, as I suspected he might have done. But I've asked him if he'll send me the rest, and maybe we'll play them out next week, or play them out over the next few shows, or whatever, because I think they're great. Isn't it funny? Hardly any of them believed that we... Yasmin has just tweeted, why are we not doing shuttle services to the moon? Why aren't we? Why aren't we? You put up a Costa up there or a Starbucks, do a shuttle service day trip to the moon. You can make a fortune out of that. Charge what? 50 quid a ticket? Do a family package for $99.99. I don't know. I've not costed it, but why aren't we? She's absolutely spot on there. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Good evening, CJ.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
There's a radio drama called The Last Broadcast, which I really would recommend to you. It's the way Fred is. It's similar to that, but it's told through a radio presenter as the war breaks out. And it is really, really good.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, they run through the emergency broadcast system on it, which it's frightening. You know, when you sat there listening to this thing. You know the way they did War of the Worlds?
Yeah.
Drama. It's very similar to that. And
hang on a second. Hang on.
We're back again on CKFD Radio. I'm Bob Henderson, and you're listening to the Golden Greats of the 50s. It's time to go back now to the year 1959 with one of my old-time favorites, Chubby Checker, and Let's Twist Again.
It's American.
It is American, but it's very, very good.
Let's just jump forward. Let's go jump forward a bit.
Germany in a large-scale military invasion. Heavy fighting between Soviet and NATO troops.
Yeah, I'm having that. I'm having some of that.
I mean, there's a bit where they do the scene in London, and it's just...
All right, mate.
Eerie.
Spoilers.
Sorry.
What have I said to you about spoilers before, CJ?
Yep, terrible, shouldn't do it.
Terrible, shouldn't do it. Hey, you sound on the up.
Yeah, mental health has been fantastic. That's what I rang in yesterday originally for.
No, you didn't. You rang in to play the bin game.
I was going to ring in yesterday.
You did ring in yesterday. Your mental health is doing terribly. You don't even remember that. You rang you were in yesterday playing Burgundy Bins.
I know, but I was going to ring in originally.
You did ring in! What are you talking about, you nutter? Your mental health needs a checkup. You did ring in. We spoke to you.
I know. Oh, dear me.
Go on.
No, I was going to ring in.
You did ring in!
I know.
You did ring in! Go on.
No.
Go on. So I'm messing around. Go on.
I was going to say is, we've had a few calls about people being sad and
well swerved, by the way. Yes.
I just wanted to ring in and say.
Here's the thing. By the way, you did ring in yesterday. People hate it when I shout on this show. Stop shouting. They'll say, stop shouting. Stop. I'll shout if I want.
Do you remember when you were playing the Naughty Noises the other week?
Oh yeah, the lady enjoying something. Yes.
Yeah, I had my windows wide open with that.
Is that a euphemism?
No, mate. I live in a flat and I've got a house underneath me, and I had a lot of.
Is that a
explaining to
euphemism?
do.
Don't know what that would be. A euphemism. Oh, testicles. Yes.
Oh dear.
Oh God.
But I was going to ring in and just say I'm
You did ring in.
Okay. And I just wanted to say I'm feeling good. You know.
I'm feeling sexy.
Well, maybe not.
What is that? What song is that? I'm feeling sexy. Or is that a song, or is that...
I think you made that up.
A fantasy. Isn't that a song? I'm feeling sexy.
Unbelievable.
Sorry?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're feeling good. It's not a Beyonce song. We're talking about Catherine. Beyonce. It's not Beyonce. I've seen Beyonce in concert 3 times, and she just never went, I'm feeling sexy. Well, I'm glad you're feeling. I'm on the up at the moment. CJ.
Good times.
Good times. I'm off the metazapine.
I've been on that.
I'm off it now.
Oh, good.
Didn't sleep very well last night as a direct result of being off it. It turns out that was what was making me sleep. Never mind.
It's good for the sleep part, but it made me very... it didn't really help the moods. It sort of took away my ability to care as much.
Oh, God, I don't want to start caring.
Yeah. And it took that away, and it wasn't good, so I came off it eventually, and they put me on the Talipram, which seems to be doing quite well, really, with me.
I don't want to care. It's the last thing I want is to care.
You need to go back on them, man.
I might. I've got a load stashed away. I'm not stupid, CJ. I know how to work these pills. I've got a load stashed away.
Lovely.
I'm going to cut you off now.
Okay, bye-bye.
There we go. 03444991000. This is the late night alternative with me, Iain Lee. Tick your radar diaries now, please, on Talk Radio.
The radio show that knows truth is always stranger than fiction.
Week Monday, I get shoes.
The late night alternative with Iain Lee.
Because they're too real to be part of my imagination.
On Talk Radio.
03444991000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. I'm not looking at Twitter. I did look at it briefly then, but I'm not now. I'm not looking at the YouTube chat. You can chat what you want. You can chat on Periscope. I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. Periscope chat is on. Do what you want to do. I'm here to do a radio show, and I got work to do. So excuse me. Yeah. 03444991000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. I'm reading a book about John Belushi, who I don't know anything about. Well, I do now, because I'm halfway through a book about John Belushi, so I know a lot about John Belushi. Man, that guy took a lot of drugs. I mean, the whole book is about drugs and an insatiable... Well, it was satiated the night that he took too many and died, but just hoovering it up. And I was reminded of, so there's John Belushi and then his brother James Belushi. And James Belushi starred in, was it K9 he starred in? And James Belushi is like... Oh, I was just trying to think of another... All right, we'll do this is the phone-in, because it's just totally gone out of my head, right? Less famous brothers. Can we do that? So I want... your starter for 10 is James Belushi, brother of John Belushi. 03444991000 is the telephone number. We're doing less famous brothers. Not less famous sisters, guys. That's tomorrow's phone-in. Tonight's phone-in is less famous brothers. Oh, that was it. That was Beau Bridges. There we go. I'd like to see Beau Bridges and James Belushi in a movie. That would be a great movie. That really would be a blooming great movie, guys. Those two guys. 03444991000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You'd be very welcome. Rachel Riley is left giggling after her boyfriend came up with this rude word while appearing on Countdown. Right, I'm going to give you have you seen this word? Do you know this word? Right, don't tell her. I'm going to give you the letters, Catherine. And I want we're going to do this properly. We're going to get the countdown music and everything. Where we go. Same there. Let them know. Countdown clock. Kath, tell where do we got? We got it here. Here we go. We got the countdown clock. Right, so you've got 30 seconds, guys, to see if you can get this word. Okay, get your pens and papers. And we're going to come up with gold, actual gold. If you can do that. I'm terrible at anagrams. I've never been good at them. I've never been able to do them. I've never wanted to do them. Okay, so it's right. Okay. Oh, now the phone's going mental. Now the phone. Don't worry, you do that. I'll sit here and talk about something else until. I'll sit here and talk about something else. That's my flipping job, mate. Oh, here's a good one. Time may be up for traditional clocks because many teenagers can no longer read them. You don't say! Schools are instead having to provide digital clocks in exam halls for a generation of pupils who've grown up using their phones to tell the time. In the past, parents might have bought their child their first wristwatch in primary school, but many are now skipping this step in favour of a smartphone. My boys have got watches, but they don't know how to tell the time. And I keep saying, should we have a little go on that? A little lesson, little time lesson now? My kids have started talking about travelling through time now, which is great. We're at a train station, just because it's near their school, and to get some money out. And there was a train timetable, and my youngest went, why does it say train times? I said, why do you think? He said, is it because you get on the train and you travel through time? I went, yes, boy. That is what I'm talking about. The phenomenon was flagged up by a teacher at a conference in London. She said, it is amazing the number of students I'm coming across in year 10, 11 and in 6th form who do not know how to tell the time. WTF? We live in a world where everything is digital. We are moving towards a digital age, and they do not necessarily have analogue watches anymore, and they have mobile phones with the time on. The teacher's claim was backed up by delegates from a range of secondary schools who said it was common for GCSE candidates not to be able to read an analogue clock, the Times educational supplement reported. And on Twitter, a number of other teachers agreed, with some saying they were having to bring in digital clocks to exam halls. No. You start with an analogue watch. This is Flick, this is Flack. They are the hands of the new Swiss watch. With children in mind, they teach the time. Huh? Flick and Flack. Remember that? That's what you do. You start with a watch. And then once they've mastered that, I never forget, the shame of it. And I think I was set up by Miss Tyrrell, which is out of order because she was cute. But it was, how old would I have been in Miss Tyrrell's class? 7, I want to say 7, maybe 8. And she asked me to go next door to Miss Reed's class, and Miss Reed was stricter, and ask her what the time was. Of course it was a setup. What am I even thinking now? Like 38 years later, of course it was a setup. She wanted to shame me because I didn't know, because none of us knew the time, and then that would be the start of our time lessons. And she picked me, and I'm willing to please and wanted to please because I had a crush on her. I went, yeah, I'll go next door to Miss Reed's class, the scary class, through the adjoining door, and I'll ask Miss Reed, yes, what do you want? Miss Tyrrell wants to know what the time is. There's a clock up there. Oh, and I'm 7 and I'm looking at it going, have you got it? Nearly. Okay. Go back into Miss Tyrrell's class. Hope not to be noticed by Miss Tyrrell sneaking back in, even though she's literally just sent me through the adjoining door to go find out. Did you get the time? Yes. In front of the entire class. What time is it? (4:30? 13 o'clock? I don't know. I didn't know. Oh, I'm so ashamed. Anyway, on Twitter, a number of other teachers agreed, with some saying they were having to bring in digital clocks to exam halls. Niall Dosad, an assistant head teacher at a primary school in London, added, children tend to get bought an iPhone before they get a wristwatch, if they get one at all. English teacher Sarah Ledger replied, yep, doesn't help in exams or detentions. Oh, well, 3 years ago, a poll of 2,000 people by a watch company found 14% could not tell the time using an analogue watch. Here's the thing. I can do it, but it takes like a second. Do you know what I mean? It takes like a second and a half to... Like, if I look at a word, I can read a word... best. I can read a word instantly. I see a word and I read it. I look at a clock and it's like... There's that delay. Right, you ready for this now? So these are your letters, okay? And I'm going to start the clock. The letters are as follows. H, M, W, O, I, U, E, B, L. Those are your letters and your time starts now. Let's go to Catherine. Catherine, what have you got?
I've got a 6.
What's the 6 you've got?
Humble.
Okay. There is a 7 in there.
Oh no.
There is a 7 in there.
Again?
Oh, it's playing it automatically. You've got another 30 seconds to find the 7 then. It's... Oh, hang on. This is a 60-second timer. What the hell is going on? There's a 7-letter word in there, Catherine. No, it's jumping. Hang on there. There we go. Hang on. Here we go.
No, I've just got another 6. Womble.
No.
Can I have another?
No.
What have I missed?
You've missed your bum hole. You missed your bum hole, Catherine. You missed your bum hole. Rachel Riley is left giggling after her boyfriend came up with this rude word while appearing on TV's Countdown. The Telios 32 posted the cheeky pic after Strictly Pro Pasha Kovalev took part in Monday's Channel 4 show. Pasha 38 left produced the word from these letters while sat in the show's dictionary corner. So you're allowed to take your boyfriend into Dictionary Corner with you? That don't seem right. And she's going out with a bloke from Strictly Come Dancing. That don't seem right. Was it the bloke that she was dancing with on Strictly Come Dancing? What is the world coming to? What is the world coming to? Good evening, Ollie.
Hi, you alright?
I'm alright, Ollie.
Yeah, cool. Sorry, just listening to your show.
Don't apologise for being one of a very small group of listeners. Apologise for being on speakerphone.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm cooking tea. 1 minute.
What, you cooking tea at 11:30 at night?
Yeah, no, it's not good.
What are you having?
I'm having... 1 minute. I'm having... Is that better?
Sorry?
Is that better than speakerphone?
It's bad in a different way, but we'll work with it. Go on.
Okay. Well, you should allow me a sound check beforehand.
Sound check.
Right. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. I tell you what we're going to do tomorrow, by the way. Have we got a guest tomorrow, Catherine? We haven't got Katie Puckrick. We've got Katie Puckrick tomorrow. Who have we got to...
Oh, she was off the word.
Yeah, she's been in before and she's great. Is it Anita Harris tomorrow? Who have we got tomorrow, then?
Oh, I better say...
Hang on, open the microphone, shout.
Orville, but she's not... That's Keith Harris.
Annabelle.
Oh, Annabelle's coming on. Is she coming in or on the phone?
On the phone.
Beautiful. Annabelle Port's coming in. That's great. We'll talk about her book. But this is what we're going to do tomorrow. Right, and this is what we're going to do. I'm going to try it out on you. Okay, Ollie? So this doesn't count, but I'm going to try it on you. We're going to have... you can only... you come onto the show, but you can only stay on if you can answer a question from my Beatles Trivial Pursuits.
I love the Beatles. They're my favourite band in the world.
Well, this is going to work in favour of... So tomorrow, you phone up, you come on, you can only make your point if you can get a question right on Beatles Trivial Pursuits.
Right, can you give me a sample question now, please?
Okay. In the song, For No One, what does Paul see in his former lover's eyes? Yeah.
Nothing.
Oh, he's in there, spot. Absolutely nothing. He's right. He's got there. I would have taken me a little bit. I love that song. Well, then you'd be able now to come on and make your point. But if you'd have got that wrong, then you wouldn't be allowed to make your point. But then there would be. You would then have the option to.
There's a lot of rules, by the way.
I'm literally just making this up as I'm speaking. So you come on, you get asked the Beatles question. If you get it right, you can stay, you can make your point. If you get it wrong, you get cut off. Unless you can ask me a question about a well-known pop group, and it's got to be well-known, don't obscure ones, and I get it wrong. If I get it wrong, you're allowed on.
All right.
But if you get the Beatles question right, you can double or quits, right? And so then you can still ask me a question about a well-known pop group, and if I get it right, then you're banned for a week.
Oh, no. All right, okay. I'm willing to...
No, but you're on... This is tomorrow's show. You're on now. You're on now.
Oh,
you've got this now. But
right, okay. So hypothetically... No, please listen.
Please, dear God, man, shut up and listen.
No, I don't mean shut up.
You do mean shut up.
No,
yes.
No, I don't. No, not at all. No, of course I don't.
You should mean it because I'm being rude to you.
Well, I'm a former teacher. I'm quite used to people being rude to me. It's not a problem.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Could kids tell the time in your school?
Well, no, I no longer work in a school, but all three of two of the three of my children can tell time.
Okay.
But one of them's only 7, so...
Catherine wants to know what your nickname was.
You really don't want to know what my nickname was.
Was it... Well, if you know it, then there must be an even ruder one that you don't know. Go on, what was it?
Muff.
You had kids calling you Muff?
No, not at school, you fool. I'm talking about when I was growing up.
No, it's asking about what the kids called you.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I don't know.
How old were the kids?
Isn't it?
How old were the kids?
Well, I taught secondary in the mode, so
probably was
11 to 19. That's what
there was definitely a nickname, mate. Everyone had a nickname.
Well, it could do worse.
Right, so go on. So hang on a minute. So I'm shutting up now. I'm being quiet. Speak.
No, not at all. No, I really didn't mean to be rude.
No, you're not being rude. I'm being rude.
No, I've got a great question for you.
Okay.
If you'd like questions about
All right, so this is okay. So this would be you would now be doubling or quits in, and if I get this right, you get banned for a week. Except you don't. And if you get it right, then I have to be quiet for 120 seconds.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but that's not happening tonight. This is tomorrow's show, and I've probably gone off the idea by tomorrow. So just bear it in mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Right. Queen's song, "Death on Two Legs." Yeah.
Yeah. Great song.
Who was that about?
Queen's song, Death
on Two Legs.
I know this song.
It's a great song.
It's a great song. Is it Nights at the Opera? It's on.
Yes. Yes, it is the Night at the Opera. Yeah. Right.
Oh,
you are good.
I am good. It's about. Oh, I know. This is about their manager.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yep.
It's not. Oh, total respect.
Total respect. I'm glad you respect me because I'm an honourable man. And
really?
Oh yeah.
No, I'm joking. Of course.
Yeah, it's about their manager, the late Norman Sheffield.
Sheffield is, in fact, they say "chef" on two legs.
Yeah.
In the chorus. So. Sorry, I'm being really
apparently
boring.
Because he mistreated the band, didn't he? And he abused his managerial role from it was about 1972 to 1975, something like that.
I can't remember.
Trust me.
Somebody, he was apparently Freddie Mercury's first lover.
Oh,
yeah,
freaky.
Well, yeah, exactly. Quite.
Did you have a lot of kids cheating in your classes?
Well, I
probably wouldn't notice.
So it's a bit different.
Yeah, okay.
It wasn't an important subject.
Anyway, what did you phone up for, man?
Well, just say hello, really. Is that wrong?
Yeah, it's so wrong, it's right.
I tell you what, have you ever had a Twitter argument?
Oh, come on, mate. You're talking to me. Yeah, all the flipping time. Of course I have.
Well, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about then. I had quite... Well, he was like making an awful lot... Well, he or she, I don't know.
Yeah.
Making an awful lot of inferences about what I was like. It's like, hang on a second. Well, he was basically slagging off the Labour government, which I'm not... No, I know I'm not allowed to mention.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. So it was making inferences about you and slagging off the Labour government. Those are two very broad subjects.
Well, he was a very happy person.
He wasn't a very happy person.
No. I'm incredibly happy. I have no beef with anyone.
Beeves. So how did it end with you blocking?
Well, no, I didn't block.
You should have blocked him. Blocked him.
I've never blocked. Is that the expectation? That's block.
I just don't. I'm finding that I'm reaching a true place of peace and tranquility by that Twitter not being in my life. I haven't got it open now. I'll probably open it during the ads, have a little look, see how the show's going. No. I take that back. Not to see how the show's going, to see what people are saying about the show. I know how the show's going. It's a blooming good one tonight.
Of course.
Ollie, I'm going to cut you off now.
No problem.
There we go. 03444991000. This is Talk Radio.
No rules nocturnal nattering for nightbirds, nurses, and Nosferatu.
All right, cool.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Just sorting through these. I've got to get my money's worth out of these Beatles Trivial Pursuits cards. The biggest waste of money ever. And I wonder what the colour categories... Do the colour categories mean anything on here? I mean, is there like a card that tells you the hell? There must be. No. Okay, well let's try it with Dan. Dan?
Good evening.
Right, I'm not. So this is just like a pilot for tomorrow's. Right, so this I would ask you a Beatles question. So you can pick a colour, but I don't know what the colours refer to. There's no instructions.
I don't really like the Beatles.
Okay, well then you'd struggle with this, wouldn't you? So pick a colour then.
Green.
Okay. What was the subtitle to John's song "Instant Karma"?
Song for India.
You racist. No.
Yeah.
It's We All Shine On. So, if this was tomorrow, I could...
Wasn't that By the House of Love?
Right. I could cut you off, but you could then throw it back to me and say, I'm going to ask you a question. So you can ask me a question about a pop group now.
Okay.
And if you get it right, you can stay on, I think. And if you get it wrong, I ban you for a week, I think.
Okay. I've not called in about 2 months, so that's a good threat.
Yeah.
Okay. What was
Yeah.
Queen drummer
Yes.
Roger Taylor's band called who were not Queen?
Roger Taylor's band
Who were not Queen.
Not Queen. You talking about the band he was in before?
No, at the same time as.
The same time
in the
as
80s.
Okay, because the obvious thing everyone would think of would be Smile.
No.
But it's not. Oh, I do know this actually. It's The Cross.
It is The Cross. Well done.
Okay, so I would ban you for a week.
And I'm banned.
Okay, but you're not because we're just trying it out for tomorrow. I did actually know that.
Just for fun.
Yeah, it's just for fun. It's just for fun. Speaking of fun, Dan, what have you got for us this evening?
I wanted to play a little bit of Going for Gold with you.
Oh, it's quiz night here on what station is this?
Yeah.
Talk Radio. That's what we call it. Yes, quiz night.
Okay, so Going for Gold. Who am I?
Okay.
Who am I?
You're Dan.
I am. And in this guise, I'm being Henry Kelly.
Okay, yes.
By Terry Wogan.
Yes. I'm Terry Wogan.
In 1996, you would have found me in Toy Story. In 1999, I would have been in Toy Story 2. 2004, you would have seen me in the Polar Express. In 2000 and...
Buzz!
Go on.
Woody from Toy Story.
But who am I?
Woody from Toy Story.
In 2004, I was in the Polar Express.
Buzz Lightyear! Buzz Lightyear! Buzz Lightyear!
I'm sorry, Ian, you're out. I am Tom Hanks' famous brother.
Oh.
Jim Hanks.
There's no one called Jim Hanks.
Jim Hanks.
Jim Hanks.
Tom Hanks' brother.
Jim Hanks.
Jim Hanks.
Jim Hanks.
Jim Hanks.
If we keep saying it,
Jumanji.
I'm hoping it's going to turn into a rude word, but it isn't. But Jim Hanks.
My favourite thing about Jim Hanks is he's slightly famous.
Yeah. Well, he's not.
But his most famous roles are when he substitutes for his much more famous brother.
Well, hang on a minute. When is he? What do you mean he substituted for his brother? Hang on a minute. The Toy Story is a cartoon.
It is.
So what? He couldn't have body doubled for him.
No, but he voice doubles.
Shut up! He can impersonate his brother.
He can. If you play the Toy Story video games,
I do actually. Yeah. Well, I don't. The boys do.
That's Jim Hanks.
Right. Hang on a minute. Whoa. Was he in the movie Toy Story?
I believe he does minor roles and possibly some overdubs and.
Right. You don't know for sure.
I am the father of a 5-year-old. I have seen Tom Hanks in Toy Story about 5,000 times.
Right. Have you seen Jim Hanks in Toy Story?
It's all CGI, and of course I haven't seen him.
Right. So you don't know. You've phoned up and you've said that Jim Hanks is in Toy Story 2, and yet you don't actually know that.
I don't know he's not.
Get stuffed. What a stupid question. What a ridiculous question and a ridiculous questioner. That's outrageous. 03444991000 for the first time this evening. The switchboard is empty. Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk it? 03444991000. Give us a call. Speak to Catherine. She'll take your name and number and call you back. And what we're doing before some people start throwing, the toys out of the playpen. Just, you know, we're just mixing up callers, so people that have been on a lot may not get on tonight and might get on tomorrow. It's, you know, it's just everyone, you know, peace and love. You do yourself no favours if you start having a hissy fit because you don't get on, okay? It's just we like to break things up a little bit. Partly for you, dear listener, so you don't hear the same voices all the time. Partly for me, makes me work harder. And also, I do think that, we talked about this before, that if it's always the same people calling, it can put other people off calling. You know, people who've never called or perhaps a little bit shyer or have a little bit less confidence, it can put them off calling in because the show can sound like a boys' club and you know, this is when this caller phones in and does this bit, and then this caller does this bit, and then Nigel from Maidstone doesn't listen to anything. So we're just kind of mixing it up, you know. So please don't be offended if you speak to Catherine and she says, thanks for calling, not tonight, try again tomorrow. Then do try again tomorrow. It's not that you've been banned or blacklisted or anything like that. It's just, you know, we're aware of people that we speak to a lot, and we're just trying to shift things around. That's fair enough, isn't it? That sounds fair enough. So just bear that in mind. So if you're a reluctant caller, you can give us a call now because there's no one calling in. So we this is good. I didn't see this story, but I'll do this. A senior Tory MP swore in front of primary school pupils as he raged about litter and pollution. This is great. So Desmond Swain said, "We need to find the bees who did this," as he talked about rubbish strewn around the New Forest. Sir Desmond, 61, made the comments at a House of Commons reception organised by the Keep Britain Tidy campaign and water filter firm Brita. Huh? His outburst came as he spoke to pupils from Walhampton School near Lymington. The former government whip and international development minister said later, "I think they're okay. I think they're strong enough to handle it." You don't swear in front of my primary school kids. I don't even swear in front of my primary school kids. Anyway, this is the story I was going to do here. Brits' blood runs cold at the thought of a boiler breakdown in winter. It topped a list of adults' 50 greatest fears. What? My greatest fear is being bummed to death. That's my greatest fear. That is my greatest fear, if I'm completely honest. It is. It topped a list of adults' 50 greatest fears and was followed by not having enough savings and not getting enough sleep.
Tell me about it, guys.
The health conscious were also troubled by an avocado shortage. Okay, so here we go. The top 19 I have here. This layout of this article is awful. It makes no sense whatsoever. I've got number 50 is an avocado shortage. Avocado shortage is one of the biggest fears. And then it goes straight to number 19, the top 19. Who does the top 19 of anything? What is this top 19? Number 19 of our top fears. Buying an item that is reduced for a sale the following week. Don't talk to me about that. I remember when I bought my first PlayStation, right? And I hadn't been into gaming for quite a long time. The last thing I'd had was a BBC Micro. And then we went to someone's house and they had this thing called a Sega Saturn and it had Wipeout on it. And I was like, what? You can get video games like this in your house now? This is incredible. So I ummed and ahed for ages about buying a PlayStation. This is when PlayStations were about, I think, 400 quid. And I was, I'd left college and I was skint and I was signing on. And I looked at all I ummed and ahed for ages whether to get a Sega Saturn or a PlayStation. Then after a couple of months, I decided it would be a PlayStation. And then I looked at all the different deals and the best deal I could find. This was before the internet. The best deal I could find was in Dixon's, where it was a PlayStation for 400 quid, and you got 3 games with it, right? And so I bought it. This is the only thing I think I've ever bought on the Never Never on hire purchase, right? $399.99, right? And I bought it on hire purchase, like 25 quid a week or something. I don't know. And I was signing on and getting stoned and playing this. And then literally the next week they reduced PlayStations down to 250 quid. Literally. I was going, oh my God. No. The worst thing that could have happened to me. Good evening, Paul.
Ian, how you doing, man?
I'm very well, Paul. What you got for us?
Well, I know you've been off Twitter for the last few hours and just checking now and again, but you might have missed quite a big story. But it ties in with the fact that the other day you were talking about losing Twitter followers.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it appears as though Kanye West has tweeted a picture of one of those MAGA Make America Great Again caps signed by Donald Trump. And since tweeting it, he seems to have lost over 9 million followers.
What the heck?
Yeah.
9 million followers?
9 million. In about 2 hours.
Goes to Kanye West's Twitter feed. Flipping heck. That is hilarious. What well, but he doesn't really care, does he?
I don't know, man.
He's still got 18.8 million.
Yeah, but he had 27.6 earlier.
That's hilarious.
It's crazy, isn't it?
That's hilarious.
I'd let you know. Not to feel so bad now, but losing a couple of hundred to bots or whatever they were.
There we go. Well, Paul, thank you very much. I appreciate the update.
Legend, have a good night.
Thank you. There we go. Did he call me a legend? I think he did. Well done. Here's what we'll do for the last hour. You can phone in about anything, as per usual, right? But Twitter is closed. Twitter is closed, and I'm going to try not to open it again for the rest of the show. So if you were going to tweet me, could you phone in and just tell me your tweets? That's what we'll do. 0344 499 1000. Don't tweet me, because I'm not going to read it until tomorrow, if at all, right? Because I'm feeling I can beat this Twitter thing. So instead of tweeting me, phone up and tweet me direct. Say your tweet to me. That's what you can do. 0344 499 1000. We'll also go through the rest of this list of fears. Number 18 is losing signal on an important call. What's that buzz? You hear that buzz? Is it this microphone? Turn this microphone off. That one on. Turn that one on and this one off. It's this microphone, isn't it? Flipping it. State of this place. State of this place. So the one microphone we've got, listen. It's got an electric buzz. But, I mean, this is it's unbelievable, isn't it? Let me give LBC a call during the break. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. My name is Iain Lee. This is the Late Night Alternative, weeknights from 10 on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me down the road. It's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on down this road that never seems to end. When new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow Maybe tomorrow I wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. There's a world that's waiting to unfold, a brand new tale no one has ever told. We've journeyed far, but you know it won't be long. We're almost there and we paid our fare with a hobo song. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll find what I call home. Until tomorrow, you know I feel
yeah. So to replace the gap in my life left by finishing this Beatles audio documentary, 28 hours. It's called the Anthology Revisited. People keep asking me. So to replace that, I've downloaded all 218 episodes of the Lost Lennon Tapes, which is a radio show that went out 1988 to 1992, only in America. Never heard it. And it's interviews and clips and audio and interviews with John and before he died, obviously, and Sean and stuff and demos and rare stuff and stuff you've never heard. So they're an hour long each. 218 hours. I've done 3 episodes, so I'm breaking the back of it. That's where I'm at with that. 034. I'm fascinated by John Lennon. I don't think he's as good as everyone says. I bought a box set. Of course, I bought a box set. But there's some of his stuff is incredible. Some of it is awful. But some of it is incredible. God is a concept by which we measure our pain. You know that song? I don't know if I've got it on. It's some song, man. I don't know if I've got it. Let me find it. Hang on a minute. What's it called? God, I think it's called. I'm not going to play it all. Right. This is some song. You don't know this song. This is some song.
which we measure our pain.
What a line.
I'll say it again. God is a concept by which we measure our pain. Yeah. Yeah. Don't believe in magic. Don't believe in I-Ching. Don't believe Bible. Don't believe tarot.
Tarot. Tarot.
Don't believe in Hitler. Don't believe in Jesus. I don't believe in Kennedy. I don't believe in Buddha. I don't believe in mantra. I yesterday. I was the dream weaver.
Here we go, listen to this.
I'm reborn. I was the walrus, but now I'm John. And so, dear friends, you'll just have to carry on. The dream is over.
That's some song, isn't it? That's the bloke that wrote Day Tripper. Do you know what I mean? I don't believe in Beatles. I just believe in me, Yoko and me. I was the walrus. Now I'm John. The dream is over. Flippin' heck, man! That's some song! And there's loads of gems like that tucked away. There's a lot of... You've got to walk through a lot of tripe. But there's songs like that you think, whoa, man alive. 0344 499 1000. Good evening, Dave.
It's actually Daniel, Ian.
Sorry, Daniel. My team have let me down there. I do apologise. It's Daniel, Catherine, not Dave. You've got it wrong. It's Daniel. Sorry, Daniel.
Yeah, I'm a very nervous first-time caller.
You sound very nervous. Yet you see, and I know it's the first time we've spoken, but yet you sound so familiar.
I'm so nervous. So nervous.
Don't be nervous. Let me put my hand on your thigh.
Ooh.
Does that make you more or less nervous?
More nervous, Ian.
I'm going to move my hand up at your thigh a little bit.
No, take it away.
My hand has been taken away. I respect boundaries. I respect boundaries.
Ian, I hope you don't mind me calling. I'm very nervous.
And now you're Irish.
I've always been Irish, Ian.
You weren't at the very, very start of the phone call. Have you travelled?
Have you cleaned your ears out lately?
And now you're Mrs. Doubtfire.
This is very offensive to people of Cork, where I was born and raised.
For a second, I thought he was going to say people of colour, and you know what? I couldn't have said anything to that. There was no way I could come back against that. But he said people of Cork. Okay, Daniel. Well, I apologise. What would you like to say on this, our first time of chatting?
Ian, I would like to tell you to speak loudly and proudly that I am a germaphobe, and I may need to wash my hands and face.
You don't like Germans?
Germaphobe.
You don't like, what is that, germs?
I am a germaphobe, Ian.
Yeah, those
and
dirty
I may
little
need to
germs.
wash my hands and face and brush my teeth during this conversation if it lasts more than 6 minutes.
Okay.
I had a quick wash just before we began speaking.
Okay.
But my dream, I have a dream, Ian, and my dream is one day to do a karaoke song. Oh, I'm so happy that you can amuse yourself with that, Ian. It's Spain. I have a dream to do a karaoke, and all that. I make this reaction all the time.
Go and do a karaoke then. There'll be pubs everywhere in Cork with karaoke.
But don't you know how dirty these clubs are? I'm a germaphobe. Oh yeah, you laugh. But I respect you, Ian, despite your intolerance towards the germaphobe society. I do respect you as a broadcaster.
Tragic Comic slams the germaphobe society. Oh, mate.
I respect you as a broadcaster.
But not as a human being.
And most of all, actually, as a vocalist and singer.
Thank you.
I've heard you sing on the show.
Thank you.
And
great voice.
What many people believe, I think you have a strong and powerful voice.
Thank you, Daniel.
And I would love it if you would accompany me in a duet tonight. I've been practicing for quite a long time. This is my gateway into possibly hitting the karaoke bars.
This is the gateway. This is the gateway drug. You'll be on stage and they'll be trying to pull you off stage. Trying to pull you off stage.
Well, the song I've been practicing in is Say, 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 a duet between Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson, and I would love it if you could perform the Michael Jackson part.
I don't remember which part is which.
Well, Paul begins with... I'm sorry, I'm going to have to wash my hands.
Okay, now you go and wash your hands.
Can you just hold on for a second?
Yeah, of course we can hold on. Of course we can hold on. All disabilities are welcome on this show.
I'll just rest it by the side of the sink. 1 second. There we go, that's better.
Okay. Are you ready?
So, I'll be Paul.
Okay.
Okay, just 1 second. Let me get back to my comfortable spot.
You got your comfortable spot?
Yeah. So...
You ready?
I'm ready. Say, say, say...
Not yet.
What you want...
No, not yet. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Say, say, say what you want, but don't play games with my affection. Take what you need, but don't leave me with no direction.
All alone, I sit here by the phone, waiting for you, baby.
Very good, keep going.
Through the years, how can you stand to hear my pleading for you, dear? You know I'm crying.
Oh, that was fantastic.
I started a bit too high, but I think I've got the essence of the Dead Junkie.
You haven't let me down.
Here we go.
Go, go, go where you want, but don't leave me here forever. You stay away so long, girl. I see you never.
What can I do to get through to you? 'Cause I love you. I've gone higher.
Love you, baby.
Standing here, baptized in all my tears. I'm a baby, crying. I'm gonna go an octave lower. I'm gonna go an octave lower for the next bit. I think I was a bit too high there. And now we're jumping on the back of a wagon, aren't we? Here we go.
You never ever worry, and you never shed a tear. To you, Ian.
You're saying that my love ain't real. I just look at my face and it says I'm crying.
You can never say that I'm not the one who really loves you. I pray every day that you'll see things go like I do.
What can I do, girl, to get through to you? Because I love you, baby. Standing here, baptized in all my tears. My baby, through the years, you know I'm crying. I wish I was doing Paul McCartney.
Well, I didn't choose Paul by accident, Ian.
You?
Ian, I think that by the end of the year, I may be hitting the karaoke bars of Cork.
Well, I wish you the very best of luck, Daniel. You've really brought back my love of life.
Thank you very much, and all the best to all your millions of listeners. Good night.
Oh dear. Let's go to a break.
A star-crossed soapbox for sailor boys, stable girls,
I'm on the end.
and stripper grands.
It depends who you're with and it depends on the situation.
Late night speech radio with a difference.
Thank you.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. This is the Late Night Alternative, Monday to Friday, 10 o'clock at night. Download the podcast as well, iTunes, your usual podcast providers. If you do download it, share, subscribe, like, Tell people, leave reviews if you can. It all helps. So we were doing the top 20. Where is it? Where's it gone? Top fears. So number 50, it's an avocado shortage. These are our top fears. Then it jumps to number 19, buying an item that is reduced for a sale the following week. 18, losing signal on an important call. Oh God, no! I pray for the signal to be lost. Oh, I hate phone calls. I really, really do. I'm having to take a few phone calls at the moment. I hate it. And I love it when the phone goes down. Oh, it's great. Phone goes down, I switch it off because I know they're going to try and call back. 17, having a bad credit rating. It's the biggest fears. 16, website crashing when you're trying to buy a ticket. Again, I remember having to... I remember when I wanted to go and see Jason Donovan in concert when I was 16. I was strange like that. I'm sure I had to go to the Hammersmith Odeon and buy the tickets. I'm sure I remember queuing outside. Not that old. I can't be that old. Wouldn't I have phoned Keith Prowse? Keith Prowse was the ticket guy in the 80s. I don't know. Anyway. Forgetting to bring your phone charger. Biggest fear, 14, being asked an awkward question in an interview. Flippin' heck, man. What is wrong with people? 13, ending a relationship. Yeah, that's a toughie. That's a toughie, isn't it? That's a toughie. Here we go. Now we're in. Number 12, having to make small talk at a party. Oh, God! Now we're getting there. The thing when someone sits down next to you, and what do? I don't want to talk about it. I'm at a party. I don't want to talk about my life. Top fear number 11. Being told you have bad breath. Number 10 is going overdrawn. These are dull top fears. If you can better this, 0344 499 1000. These are dull top fears. It's funny, we're in that last 35 minutes of the show, and I've noticed that recently, the last couple of weeks, the last 35 minutes of the show have been a bit quiet, and they've either been brilliant or awful. There's this weird vibe. Kath, come in, sit on that microphone there. And we'll take calls straight to air for the last 35 minutes, because sometimes it creates magic and sometimes it doesn't. You'll have to, you'll have to sit there, block that camera. It don't matter. It's a radio show more than anything else. Let's never forget that. They can imagine. You're so tiny. You're not actually on that camera. That's incredible.
I'm almost invisible to the human eye. Never mind cameras.
That's right. You're not on that camera. That's how small you are. When Kellner comes in or Ross comes in, blocks the whole shot. Boyle sits there. There's nothing.
Tiny pocket rocket.
Tiny. Well. 0344 499 1000. Take call straight to air for the last bit of the show.
It is freezing in here, by the way.
Yes, mate. I like it cold.
I'm not used to it. Normally there's a transition. I've just jumped in the
exactly.
fridge.
No, I like it cold. It's I've always liked it. It's a trick I picked up. I heard that David Letterman would always have the studio when he did the Late Night with David Letterman television show. He'd always have it cold. And if you watch it, quite often you'll see the audience in, like, coats and things. And it's brilliant because it keeps the audience awake. Because these TV shows go on for ages, and if you have it warm, people get sleepy and tired. But also, it just keeps you on your game as a performer, man. Totally does. When we did the 11 o'clock show, maybe I was doing it on the 11 o'clock show, and then I heard about David Letterman afterwards. I don't know, but I'd always ask for the studio to be cold because if it was hot, you just get lethargic and your timing would just be off. But now my mind is alert. Do you function better before you've had a wee or after you've had a wee?
while I'm having a wee.
OK, that's really disappointing. Good evening, line 1, you're on the wireless.
Oh, good evening, Ian and Catherine. How are you tonight?
Very well, thank you, my dear Angela. What a pleasant surprise to hear your delightful voice.
That's okay. Thank you, and yours. I just want to ask you something.
You've come to the right place.
If you want to ask me something, then you've definitely come to the right place.
I've been seeing this black cat since my friend died.
You've been feeling it?
No, seeing this black cat.
Seeing a black cat? Yeah, OK.
Cat, sorry.
Yeah.
Since my friend passed away.
I'm sorry to
Any ideas?
Sorry? Any ideas? Hello? Hello?
I think there might be a black cat near you.
I think we missed half of the question out. It seemed to jump from I've been seeing a black cat to any ideas.
Yeah, since my friend died, I've been seeing this black cat.
Right. Well, OK, you want me to say, I think it might be your friend's spirit as a cat, don't you?
No, because it seems weird.
I think it might actually be your friend's spirit as a cat. It's possible.
My friend said that.
Hang on, your friend was dead?
Yeah, my friend next door's seen it as well, so I don't know.
It might be. Why don't you look at it as just your friend who's sadly passed away, just checking in and saying, I'm all right, don't worry about me. I'm a cat now. I'm a cat spirit. I'm going to do what I want.
Well, what if it starts licking its privates and that? Then it's not your friend.
Well,
then it's a cat again.
Would your friend? I don't want to ask any insensitive questions. But when your friend was alive, did they express the desire to be able to lick their own privates?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, let's just keep
little after-knife bonus.
Hey, Angela, thanks for that. I'm sorry for the loss of your friend, mate. Sorry about that. Let's go to line 2. Line 2, you're on the wireless.
I think we dealt with that sensitively.
Yeah. Okay, didn't know what that was.
It was Posh Spice singing.
Oh, was it? Was it?
If you want to be my love.
I didn't think I couldn't work it out. I think Velvet's on her way out. I think she's on her way out. She's going to get taken to the vets on Friday. And I nearly replied to the text about her going to the vets on Friday. Don't let them put her down until I've spent a weekend with her. But I didn't send that because but I will. But she might be all right. She might be. The oldest cat today, because I looked it up, 38 years old.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, 38. So I could have another 19 years of that thing. 38.
I bet it stinks.
That is older than my wife. That is 38. Flipping heck.
Oh.
Imagine it. What it's saying. Why do cats not live for long? Is it because they're small? No, that can't be right. Well, Vern Troyer.
Oh, bless him.
Yeah, I know. Hervé Vilches. So, is it small things?
Smallness.
Is it small things die? Well, no, that can't be true because children grow into adults.
Tortoise live for ages.
Right. Okay. So it's not that. What is it? What is it that cats breathe fast and you only have a certain number of breaths? You only have a certain number of breaths, and the cats breathe. Oh, I've used up all my breaths. And tortoise.
I think. Do you want a serious answer, or are you already answering yourself? Are we waiting for breath 2?
Yeah. It will come when you're talking.
I know it will. A cat can have kittens when it's about, when it's 1 or 2 years old, right?
What's that got to do with anything?
About life cycles.
You're saying cats are paedophiles?
No, so the point of being alive, really...
Cats are naturally paedophiles because they want to impregnate 1-year-olds.
Well, they would go with anything, wouldn't they, really?
And the French. The French live for a long time, and yet they do pretty much the same thing. No, dealt with 1-year-olds, but not. They've only just brought in an age of consent in France. They've only just brought, and the reason they brought it in because a bloke was charged with having sex with a 12-year-old and got off because it's not against the law over there.
Literally, awful.
Cats are worse than the French. The French. The French.
No.
Pepe Le Pew.
Well, I was going there, yeah.
Pepe Le Pew.
Le Pew.
What does that mean? I wonder what that means in English. Well, guess we'll never know.
Pete the Stink.
Oh,
is what it means.
4-4.
Oh, Pepe. No, Pepe's Frank, isn't it?
Yeah.
Frank the Stink.
Frank the Stink. Yeah, I was going to say I didn't want to pick you up on it. I didn't want. Here's another. So I've got my post-it note here says don't swear, and this is my other post-it note which I'm just writing now.
Don't be mean to Kath.
Don't belittle Kath.
Well, you've already done that.
No, I'll put that there.
I couldn't be littler.
So put that there, and then I can put the next one. She can't help it.
You cheeky swine.
Okay, so I've got that.
Anyway, cats.
Yeah!
Because they can reproduce earlier, they're...
Ad infinitum.
They're sexually mature.
Oh, yes.
Earlier.
Those fit kittens.
Oh, stop it.
Fittens. Oh, lovely fittens.
So, okay, so they've done their business so they can die younger.
And what is... So butterflies only last for a day?
Yeah, they do their business well early.
But do they know? Does a caterpillar know it's going to become a butterfly? We researched what is inside not an ovid.
A chrysalis.
Chrysalis.
What's an ovid?
Don't know.
It's some sort of egg.
Cocoon. That's what it was. Cocoon.
A cocoon.
We researched what's inside a cocoon. Let's say research by Googling. We didn't open a cocoon.
You Googled what was inside.
We Googled it. And do you know what it is?
Yeah, mush. Snot.
Mush. This is incredible. So the caterpillar builds a cocoon. And then its body liquidizes, blends. Its body...
Turns to snot.
Its body liquefies... Then it's reborn as a basically a tiny paper bird.
Paper bird?
That's what a butterfly is.
Oh my god!
Because what you naturally assume is that the caterpillar
wings come out of the caterpillar.
Wings come out, and the body of the butterfly is the caterpillar.
Yeah.
It's not. It turns into mush, and then turns into.
You know that? Sam didn't know that.
It's incredible. Good evening, caller.
That reminds me, it's Eurovision soon.
I won't go to a witch doctor.
No.
So guess what I'm getting?
Listen.
Go on.
Cats can get pregnant from 16 weeks. Fittens.
Guess what I'm getting sent over from the United States of America?
A balloon.
Imani Coppola, right, she's moving house because she's got rats in her apartment.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That cat's rubbish then, isn't it?
Yeah, so she's moving. She's having a clear out. She's posted on Facebook. I'm clearing this stuff out. I mean, if anyone is in this area of New York and you want to come and collect it, you can have it. So there's some bits of art and there's stuff like that. And there's one thing. I'm going to find it, right? And I emailed her and I said, Marty, you cannot throw that out, right? And no one else had claimed it. I'm looking at it going, that is an actual piece of treasure. And I said, Imani, you cannot throw that out. Send it to me, right? I know it's going to cost a fortune in postage. I will pay the postage, but I forbid you to throw that away. And when I buy my house, I'm going to have this, right? It's treasure. Come round and have a look at it.
Right.
This is actual treasure. Look.
Oh my.
I'm having that. It's what used to be in the olden days a gold disc for record sales, except this is platinum, and it's a CD and it's a cassette presented to Imani Coppola to commemorate certified platinum sales of more than 1 million copies of the S-Curve Records cassette and CD Who Let the Dogs Out by the Baha Men, because she did a duet with the Baha Men who Let the Dogs Out. So she's on their album. It's some song, and it's a platinum cassette award.
Yeah,
for 1 million sales of the Baha Men.
Here's the thing, Ian.
Yes, Catherine.
It's hers.
Yep.
And she don't want it. Why would you want it?
Because it's treasure. Because that is treasure. Oh, because I love her, and B, that's rock. That is rock and roll history. That is up there with the glasses John Lennon wore when he got shot. That is up there with the last roll of Elvis's toilet paper. That is up there with. That is up there
with Mambo's number 1, 2, 3.
That wasn't the Baha Men.
4. No, what I'm saying is...
A bit racist, that, actually, Catherine.
What?
You made a connection because the Baha Men are black and Mambo number 5 is black.
No, I was thinking crap novelty songs, if we want to go there.
Wow.
I mean, who let the dogs out?
Well, then you
know what that's about?
Well, you won't be using my downstairs toilet in my new house,
I won't.
then.
I don't want them looking at me, the perverts.
I'm thrilled by that. I was like, I'll have that. How much do you want for it? She says, I don't want any money for it. I'm getting rid of it. Then you're a muppet for getting rid of it. So expect that in the post in the next few weeks.
Do you remember when our mate Justin got his first place and he had his
the Wall of Legends?
You know what you're building there?
Oh no!
It's the same thing.
No.
It's the same thing.
By the way, people phoning in with withheld numbers. We're not doing withhelds at the moment. Sorry, guys. We're not doing withheld numbers at the moment. 0344 499 1000. We will take calls straight to air, though, for the rest of the show. This is the late night alternative. Oh, let me just say, the YouTube stream is about to end, guys. Say your goodbyes. Matthew, when I close down the Periscope, switch off that YouTube stream. This is Talk Radio.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
0344 499 1000. Call straight to air for the last 20 minutes of the show. Catherine Boyle joins me. Welcome.
Yeah.
Paul Ross will be in this studio from 1 o'clock. What day is it? It's only Wednesday. Tomorrow we're going to the launch of the new Tomb Raider, Lara Croft Tomb Raider game. It's
and you tell me, like, all the women are supposed to dress up as Lara Croft. That's standard.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yes, they are. So that's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. Plenty of stories.
So, are we going to go and like play Tomb Raider, and you're going to shout at me?
No, I tell you what it's going to be, because I went to a launch for a Batman game a few years ago, and basically they take over this place. It will look amazing, and there'll be Xboxes all around. There'll be a bar. There'll be nibbles.
All right, I'll wait for you there.
There'll be nibbles. They'll have. I remember for the Batman game. I'm sure it was the Batman game. R2D2 was there. Like, proper R2D2. It was amazing. So there'd be, like, stuff there. You probably see Jonathan Ross there.
Yeah.
He's always at those events.
Uh-huh.
I'll introduce you.
Do you know him, then?
He always, at these events, he always comes over and says, hello, Ian, how's it going? So yeah, I do actually know him. A very good friend. Very good friend of mine.
Been to any of his parties?
No, I don't like parties, mate. You know, you know me, I don't like parties. Right, where are we going with these? None of these slackers aren't phoning in. These guys don't deserve this show.
Well, forget those guys.
Just think, guys, this show might not be here forever. And that's a boring story. All these stories seem good. The thing is, we're now reviewing news, because these are now yesterday's papers.
Yeah.
And the papers are a day behind anyway. So we're reviewing, like, really old news.
Yeah.
What we should have is an up-to-date online news. Here we go. Most of us can count our cousins. Let me take this phone call. It better be a good phone call. Hello, Nick.
Oh, good evening, Ian. Hi, Kath.
Hiya, Nick.
I'm going to do a director's commentary to the trailer for the True Game of Death.
Oh, mate, thank you.
Kung Fu movie you have all been dying to see. The True Game of Death.
So there's like two guys on motorcycles who are in like Game of Death suits. One's in blue and one's in red. Oh, fake Bruce has just put a barrel down, and now there's a recreation of the scene where Bruce Lee is in his yellow jumpsuit fighting with some dude.
This is a Bruce-ploitation movie.
He just punched the guy in the sumo costume.
The legendary Bruce Lee lives again. See him overcome his foes with contemptuous ease as he demonstrates why his kung fu skills made him the king.
This is a love scene. This is great, this bit. Hang on.
It's not really a director's
I think we missed some punching there.
Bruce is now straddling Betty Ting Pei. Oh, there's a car chase.
I'm watching this as soon as I get
The
home.
king of kung fu, Bruce Lee, lives again in the True Game of Death.
He's running up some stairs. He's climbing a... I'm not sure what it is.
I'm not sure what it is.
Not without your agreement. Suppose I refuse?
Oh.
Did he say the trailer or the whole film?
Hey, man. Do I have to repeat myself to you? I just told you you mustn't fail me. If he still refuses, then get rid of him.
Okay, so now they're both nude, and Bruce has been poisoned, and he's kind of like writhing about on a bed. And I think it's meant to be implied that this is what caused his death.
Oh.
That sounds a bit Jeff, doesn't it?
His poor neighbours.
A spellbinding spectacle of martial arts at their most exciting.
I bet they're used to it.
There's some like weird dude in a red cape, and he's kind of glowing, and now he's disappeared.
Okay. It's not really a director's commentary, it's audio for the blind.
Yeah.
He's fighting the fat dude again with a moustache.
Okay.
Told you about the time my mum watched an entire film with that on.
I can't hear you. Okay, thanks. What?
My mum watched a whole film once. Enchanted, right?
Yeah.
I lent it to her. I said, you'll like this. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun Disney film. She watched the whole thing. She came back to me. Yeah, the narration's a bit annoying, isn't it? I went, what? She said, all the way through it in narration. And I went, what do you mean? She went, and it's daft. It's not even telling the story it's saying. And now she's walked in wearing a different dress. I went, right, you put the audio description on.
Oh, no.
She watched the whole thing with audio description.
What a muppet. That's your mother.
Mm.
It explains so much,
Standard.
though, Catherine.
Standard.
Good evening, line 2.
Hello, Ian. Steve from Twickenham here.
Hello, Steve.
How are you?
Very well, Steve, thank you. Very well indeed.
Well, I'm just preparing for my job. It starts at 4 o'clock in the morning.
What? Oh.
Ask what it is.
Hello?
What is it?
Well, it's the morning spike.
There's no preparation required for that, surely.
Well, Steve, shouldn't you be having a sleep now?
No. I'm just reading through the papers. What I do, I listen to your story,
yes?
show, and I get all bitter, and I'm very high profile. I know very high profile journalists,
Yes.
and I just repeat what I listen to your show to them, and then I review it on mine.
Well, Steve, I hope your spike doesn't cause you too much pain. Thank you very much indeed. Did I do the rest of those things that we're worried about? Did I finish that?
Parties.
We got to parties. Hang on a minute. Watcha. I don't know, the last 35 minutes just feels that it sort of comes off the rails a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, girl?
Yeah, the 1:30 flop.
That's the sun. Anyway, did I finish it? I must have finished it.
You think so? You tidied it away.
Oh, no, I hadn't at all. Right.
Oh.
It gets quite depressing then. So these are the topic things. Going over drawn. Number 9. Number 9 is number 9. Losing the passport just before a holiday.
Oh, yeah.
My new passport's on the way. It's on the way, baby. Number 8 is being late for work. Who cares about that? Really, who cares? 7 is alarm not going off. God, these people lead really boring lives.
Yeah, exactly.
Number 6, needing a filling at the dentist. Number 5, running out of petrol in the middle of nowhere. Well, that's easily avoidable.
Have these people not seen Saw? That's my greatest fear. Being invited to play a game.
I'd to play a game. 4, not being able to pay a mortgage. 3, not getting enough sleep. 2, having insufficient savings. Number 1, being a massive whinging baby. That's what that
Hang on, so sleep more than not being able to pay your mortgage?
Oh, mate.
Come on.
Most of us can count our cousins on our fingers. But if you take a wider look, this is in the Daily Mail, if you take a wider look at your family tree, you might find a few thousand more. The average Briton has 17,000 living blood relatives.
Gosh. They've been checking to make sure they're all white.
Most of them second, third, or even up to 8th cousins.
This is not news, this is called genetics.
The majority of them are thought to live across the globe, while only 1,200 are in the UK. It means that a typical Wembley Stadium crowd would include 3 cousins. Oh, right, yeah. Well, probably, because I go to concerts with my cousins. A study of this company's... Gosh. I haven't done that for a long time. A study of this company's...
See what a pro I am, not drawing attention to it.
No, and what I will do, because I have to do, is that was a Freudian slip. But if anyone was offended by that, that was a genuine mistake, and I humbly apologise. A study of the company's database of 7 million people showed that we have 16,895 living relatives on average. But the Scottish typically have even more, with 21,000 cousins. The research was conducted in honour of DNA Day.
What? That's not a thing.
Which marks the 1953 discovery of the double helix. My kid's a genius, right? He had an elastic band. And he said, Daddy, he's my 6-year-old.
Gosh, not even the...
My 6-year-old. I'm going to make some DNA out of this elastic band. Right. And he twisted it. And all it was a twisted elastic band.
Like a model of it.
He was trying to make a model of it. 6-year-old. Genius. Flipping it. Can't tell the time. But
he's definitely going to Cambridge.
He can do double helixes. It's maybe even a quadruple helix.
Didn't Einstein, he didn't speak till he was about 12 or something?
Well, the thing is, you've taken half of a fact and you've now broadcast it as a fact.
Yeah, spreading it.
It wasn't 12. It was like 5.
All right, whatever. But late.
Well, there's a difference between 5 and 12 of about 9 years. So
Doesn't matter. So anyway, you can be clever in some things and not clever in others.
What I'm saying is, my boy did a DNA with a rubber band.
Yeah. So who needs to tell the time?
Admittedly, it was a rubber band he'd found on the floor and then was chewing. But,
oh my God. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree, does it?
Well, no. Why would an apple fall far from the tree? It just drops straight down. It's gravity.
You can't do that face anymore.
This is my face. This is my resting face. Apples do not fall far from the tree.
Well, that's a stupid thing, because if you're going to grow into another apple tree, you're going to be right in the way.
You're in the middle. No, because birds eat it and birds do. Don't swear. Birds poo it miles away. So you're like you're in the desert. You go, what's this on the floor? There's an apple. Where did this? Oh, it must have fallen far from the tree, because there's apple trees like 20 miles away. And
in a desert.
The desert has to have a curb.
What?
Well, like a curb, a boundary.
Where the grass grows.
No, but there's a... Hands up. Okay, hands up. Out of us two, hands up who's been in the desert. My hand's up.
I think I went to Tenerife.
So my hand's up. So I'm the only one in this room that's actually been in the desert. Right. That's correct. Yeah, that's a fact.
Oh, no, I went to Vegas. That's in the desert.
No. Hands up who's actually... Toiled? Hands up who's actually toiled with their bare hands in the desert. Again, it's just me.
Was there not a portally?
It's just me. Just me.
Toiled?
So, yeah, toiled.
What were you toiling?
So here's the thing, right? So you've got...
No, wait. What were you toiling?
I was picking up litter in the desert.
Were you?
Yes, I was.
What for?
Because people had left litter in the desert.
Don't bother anyone.
I picked it up. It's my job. My job was picking up litter in the... This is...
God, what did you do?
So, right, so here's the thing. So a desert has to start somewhere, right? So, at one point... Here's the thing. I walked out of my horrible flat the other day, and it was a sunny day. I walked out, and I was dry. I took 5 steps, and it was showering. I went, that's weird. I thought, I wonder. I walked back, and it was dry.
Oh.
I was on the edge of a shower. It's like that film, The Phantom Tollbooth. Have you seen that?
Mm-hmm.
Where he's filmed, then he goes through and he's cartoon. It was like that.
Dry then wet.
Dry then wet. Paul, come in. We've had a
mishap.
Move that tripod out of the way, fella. Right. Sit down there.
When he says fella, he means me.
Well done.
Woman, know your place.
Paul Ross, good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to you. It's nice to have you here this evening. What have we got tonight, please?
Well, a very sad story tonight, and we're going to Singapore because their most famous citizen has died at the age of 27. He was the world's only tropical polar bear, born in captivity, kept in a kind of icebox there, massive place, but these are creatures that are meant to roam constantly.
Yeah.
The world's greatest predator on land because they get so little prey, they're attuned to everything. And basically, this poor thing had been in a prison for 27 years. Now, in the wild, polar bears tend to live 14 to 17 years. So you could argue he had a 10 years extension on his life.
Yeah,
but what a terrible life. And it's really
yeah.
We've already spoken to an animal psychologist about it, which has really upset me, and we're hoping to cross live to Singapore for their view on it, because I do wonder whether this should be a kind of why are we keeping bears and gorillas and these elephants in zoos? I know they say we work with them and learn from them. You could learn from them on nature reserves.
Zoos in this country, a Victorian thing, weren't they? Because but people didn't know what things
couldn't travel
like. But I hate zoos. I tell you what I hate more than zoos. Bird houses. You know when you go to some places and there's like you got like owls and eagles in these things. You think,
there's one quite near where I'm rented a place it's Pinner Memorial Park. There's a wonderful museum to William Heath Robinson, the cartoonist who made all those weird inventions.
Oh yes.
But there's a birdhouse which is full of like budgerigars and the odd cockatiel, and I suppose that's the same feeling. But you're thinking they can't fly naturally.
No.
It's about the size of the studio.
Yep.
And again, they go psychotic. They go stir crazy. And polar bears, are kind of 95% our DNA apparently. I don't quite know how they work that out, but also they should be, wild and free.
Even as a young kid, I felt there was something suspicious about zoos.
Yeah.
I always felt there's not quite, once you get over the joy. Then you go to these wonderful, I'm a big fan, one of my favourite places in the world is Monkey World in Dorset. Have you been there?
I've been there, yeah, taking the kids there, they used to love it.
I love it there, and I go there I go there at least once a year. And they rescue monkeys from, like, laboratories and from Spain, where...
Look at me.
You speak the language.
Well, I'm not complicit with the monkey torture.
You didn't fight for Franco, did you? Let's face it.
And this is kind of... It's not a zoo, but, you know, because they've got loads of space they can run around.
Yeah, it's lovely there.
It's like rehabilitation for them. It's a great place.
It's like that sloth world place we crossed to a few weeks ago on the show when everyone was obsessed with sloths in Costa Rica.
Oh, yeah.
They do something civil, but at least there they keep them, and the minute they're healthy enough, if they choose to, at their very slow pace, wander off, they allow them to.
Yeah.
In Dorset, they're pretty much Monkey World, but Monkey World's massive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's huge. It's a great place.
You should do a show from there. You should do a show from Monkey World.
Yeah, I'd love that. I love Monkey World.
I've never been. I've always wanted to go.
I was supposed
It's a crazy dream or vision for you, Kath, is it?
Oh, mate, honestly, go. It's the best place.
How old are your little ones? Or?
They are 7 and 9.
That's the optimum Monkey World age.
They would love it, and they watched the TV show.
Yeah. I took the boys last year, and they were kind of excited about it. But as soon as they walked in, they went, "There's a monkey!" And they just ran, and the whole day was that. We've got 20 seconds, Paul. Anything else you want to play?
We're talking politics, we're going to the movies. The big film this weekend, of course, is the latest Avenger blockbuster, so we're talking about that. A couple of other interesting films about. And we're joined by our favourite, the Bolton thoroughbred that is Carl Hartley, with his unique northern take on the sport from 1:45. Looking forward to that.
Paul Ross on at 1 o'clock. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Sam. We will be back tonight at 10 o'clock. Until then, from us, ta-ta.